We are announcing the arrest of 29-year-old Jonathan Rinderknecht for igniting a fire that ultimately burned down the Palisades earlier this year, killing 12 people, destroying more than 6,800 structures, both homes and businesses, and damaging over 1,000 more buildings.
Authorities say Rinderknecht was arrested yesterday in Florida. Former FBI Director James Comey pleaded not guilty today to charges he lied to Congress 5 years ago. It's a case his lawyers may argue is politically motivated. Legal contributor Caroline Polisi.
As a defense attorney, I would think that his attorneys will be requesting discovery sooner rather than later, fleshing out exactly what the government is alleging that Comey has done wrong, because that indictment, it is, paper thin. There is not much information about what the government is essentially alleging.
Comey's indictment came after President Trump publicly implored Attorney General Pam Bondi to take action against Comey and other perceived adversaries. Comey's trial has been set for January 5th. The Senate has failed again to end the government shutdown. A coalition of labor unions representing government and transportation workers demanded today that lawmakers find a way out of the mess. Sarah Nelson is international president of the Association of Flight Attendants.
A dismantling of our healthcare system and millions of people about to lose their health care, and federal workers who are going without work and without a paycheck, or at work and being told that they won't even get back pay.
As a judge weighs President Trump's deployment of National Guard troops to Illinois, the governor reiterated today the federal government's not communicating with state officials about what's going on. Reporter Uba Ali says that's also concerning the governor of Minnesota.
Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker says he's completely in the dark about the mission and says local police haven't been briefed either.
It's deeply concerning. We don't know exactly where this is going to end.
Governor Walz says he's preparing for the same scenario.
We fall into exactly what it looks like they're trying to target, blue cities. You can certainly chill voting.
The U.S. Marshals say the only escaped inmate who remained on the run after a New Orleans jailbreak in May has been captured. 10 men broke out of the jail. Derek Groves evaded authorities for nearly 5 months. On Wall Street, stocks are higher. This is CBS News.
Brought to you by Progressive Insurance. Not only does Progressive let you bundle your insurance, they also give you round-the-clock protection. Quote today at Progressive.com.
Mariners could be on their way to making history. We'll tell you more about that. But first, KIRO News Radio traffic.
And traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. Tacoma to Federal Way right now, 24 minutes. That's an 11-minute delay, slowing from Fife all the way to State Route 18. Seattle to Linwood, just 14 minutes. That's actually 2 minutes better than usual. And North 5 slows into Seattle from about Michigan. 520, I'm seeing it eastbound slow down, a bit sluggish right when you get off of I-5. Then once you hit midspan, back up to speed. State Route 104 right now, heavy between I-5 and Lake Forest Park, and 522 slowing both directions as you head through Kenmore. The D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today or drhorton.com. America's builder, an equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. We are minutes away from first pitch. The Mariners are hosting another watch party for Game 4 today at T-Mobile Park. Here's KIRO News Radio's Luke Ducey.
Swung on and missed. Got him.
A big Game 3 win, 8-4. And with the Mariners looking to end the series in Detroit in Game 4, back home, $15 gets you into the watch party at T-Mobile Park. $10 for season ticket holders and all the action on the largest screen in Seattle. I also have a list of bars and restaurants from Everett to Seattle to Tacoma on mynorthwest.com for you. Let's hope Game 4...
Go M's, baby. Yes, sir.
...turns out like Game 3.
Yeah, we may have sold a few more beers than we were anticipating, but that's not a bad thing.
With the Mariners moving on to the Championship Series. Luke Ducey, KIRO News Radio.
Even as we celebrate here, though, a former Mariner is fighting for his life.
You remember the name?
Runner goes. Montero, line drive, left field, and deep. There it is. It's gone. A two-run homer. A Montero mash his first of the year.
Dave Sims and Mike Blowers with the call. Jesus Montero was badly hurt in a motorcycle crash in Venezuela. Reports say the 35-year-old is in critical condition on life support. Montero has multiple broken bones and organ damage. Doctors have placed him in a medically induced coma. Montero joined Seattle in a big trade with the Yankees in 2012 and played his last major league game in 2015. Amanda Factor, KIRO News Radio.
A major break in a hate crime investigation in Issaquah. Police have arrested a 22-year-old man accused of defacing public spaces with anti-Semitic graffiti. Swastikas and slurs have been found across the city since last December. Detectives say the suspect is tied to at least 12 incidents. The beloved Maltby Cafe in Snohomish County is now a mother-daughter partnership. According to the Herald, Keisha Laws has been there since day one, carried to work in a baby backpack at age 2. She's worked alongside her mom for 5 years, doing everything from cooking to washing dishes, then managing the restaurant. The bustling Homey Community Hub near Woodinville almost closed in 2020, but was brought back from the brink by loyal supporters. And Laws says fans can expect more of the same recipe that's kept them open, maybe just a few updates like a new computer system. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. High of 62 today, cloudy. Very cloudy tomorrow and a high of 61. Rain chances by Friday through the weekend and a chance of sun on Monday. It is 56 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery for KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with the KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio with your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome to the show. Happy Wednesday, October 8th. Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill there.
Hey, brother.
All right. We got to set this up for the fans.
Sure. Yeah.
There's a lot of baseball fans out there. We figured that if you're a diehard Mariners fan, you're probably not listening to the show today, which puts us in an interesting position because it's happening.
It is.
The game starts
moments away.
Moments from now.
Yep.
You can listen to it on 710 Seattle Sports. And, yeah, obviously if you are a middling baseball fan and you're mildly interested because it's a massive local story here, we'll just keep you updated on this. We'll give you some updates. There'll be some spoiler alerts along the way. You're probably not going to wait until you get home to find out what happened. So we'll give you some updates along the way, which is great. But we'll also do our show, which is not a sports show.
No.
But we will have sports adjacent things. Like, for instance, yesterday, I credit you, Spike, with that amazing game last night that the Mariners won. They beat the Tigers 8-4.
Well, I did my small part.
You did your small part by drinking dirt from the Mariners mixed in with, and you have it in front of you right now. Oh, and you just dropped it.
No.
This actually works out perfect.
No. I got it. It's right here on the counter.
Please don't wipe it into
Yes.
Please don't do that. Please don't do that.
Yes, Mariner dirt, infield dirt. There it is. Okay, so you can see it now. It's in the glass.
Do not drink this yet.
Oh, well, I think I have to pregame.
You can't because, no, you got to stick with the routine from yesterday. You drank it at 12:49 yesterday. I think you need to wait until 12:49 just to be safe.
Well, okay. At that point, I drank it 3 hours before game time. I should have had it at 10 a.m. or 9 a.m.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay.
Let's just drink it at the same time
wait?
as yesterday because it was technically 3 hours before the game yesterday. You get what I'm saying?
I got you.
Let's try to be consistent with the routine.
I respect that because it's only crazy if it doesn't work.
Yes.
Right?
And yesterday it worked, clearly.
It
worked very well.
So well.
And it's a heroic thing that you did.
Okay, well.
Spike O'Neill.
Oh,
Drinking
man.
that dirt.
Drinking that dirt, baby.
I think you should get MVP, actually.
Oh, you're too kind.
Yeah.
Well, okay, so if we're doing what we did yesterday, first off, I appreciate the belief. The belief.
Yeah.
You know, I want to shout out to Kyle and Courtney who brought this to our attention. The first man
who did it again, by the way,
did it again
on their
yesterday,
TikTok.
and I'm sure he did it again today on his TikTok.
I watched him. Yeah.
Okay, beautiful. So at 12:49 today, like at the same time we did yesterday.
12:49 segment.
Okay,
We'll do it again.
Okay.
And you can drink the dirt, and people can watch if they want, so they can verify that you are in fact drinking the dirt.
So
it worked great yesterday.
It worked great. What also worked great was me not watching the game, and that's where we come into the biggest conundrum of the day.
Okay, so you're going to have to watch it because I have it on screens in the studio.
I'm looking at you.
I'm going to not watch it.
I'm looking deep into your blue eyes. I'm not looking.
No, just kidding.
Stop.
No, it's on. It's on right now.
Yeah, it's game time.
We'll give you updates. I think you can either stare into my
deep eyes.
Those are the most Mariner blue eyes I've ever seen.
Mariner blue. They're actually green.
Are they? Maybe it's the jersey you're wearing that's throwing that blue in your eye. Yeah,
it's a lot
beautiful.
of fun.
Anywho,
you can make your choice, but I'm not turning the game.
No. I respect that, but I need to raise the stakes. I can't just have milk and dirt.
Oh, because you are seeing the game.
I'm also
trying
going
to
to see the game.
offset the fact that you're not
I have
watching the
to
game.
up my commitment.
Because people may not be aware, you have not watched any of the games when they've won.
Well, when I do watch, they lose.
They lose, yeah.
Well, I left a game we were trailing, and we came back and won after I left. I mean, how much more proof do I need?
That's all I need.
So I'll raise the stakes at 12:49.
You're going to raise the stakes with the dirt?
I'm going to raise the stakes with the dirt. Yes.
Do something extra special.
I got to do something.
Drinking dirt and milk is not special enough.
Not if I'm going to watch the game too. I have to counter.
I love it. The Dump 62 guy is back. So yesterday, this was amazing. I do have to talk about this really fast because this was just so amazing.
Oh my
and then we're going to get to other stuff, I promise. But there was a guy yesterday in Detroit. I'm watching the game with my dad and my 4 sons. My wife was out. Her and my mom went to go do some fun stuff. And so my 3 generations of Skorheim men watching this game. It's just the best.
That is beautiful.
And thank God it was delayed yesterday so I could do that. And so we're sitting on the couch, we're watching, and Cal hits his 61st homer in the 8th inning, his last at bat, hits it into the stands to a guy wearing a Dump 61 here shirt, and he hit it to the guy. Now, everybody listening who's a Mariners fan probably is already aware of this, but if you're not a massive Mariners fan, you may not be aware that that's what happened. What are the odds of that happening? This guy was in Detroit for the game and got the ball and
literally bounced into his lap, his glove.
Bounced into his glove. Yeah. His name was Jamison Turner. He's actually in Vegas now for the last 2.5 decades, but he grew up here. He went to Auburn High School, and he made the shirt himself.
How you came with this design? I made the shirt and the number 62 for after I catch the 61. I made it last week because I went to the final regular season game in Seattle, and this is just overwhelming. So
love this guy.
I decided to fly out here and see if I could give it one more shot, and it's unbelievable. I made it myself.
You made it yourself.
Got the Cricut machine and made it at home.
A little plug.
My mom's like, oh, Cricut, I can do that. My mom crickets. He turned to the woman next to him right before it happened. Listen to this.
I told the lady next to me, I said, this is his last chance to hit the home run for me. This is what I came here for. I never believed it would actually come true, but my friend told me if you don't try, it'll never happen. So I took a seat and hoped to get a home run, and there it was. So now I got my bat with Cal's signature on it.
It was just a magic moment. And I have a couple of stats. Baseball is an unbelievable sport because they keep stats on absolutely everything. Next segment, we're going to have Lyle Goldstein from the Marine Layer podcast with us.
Great.
He had a hilarious story. So he did a watch party last night. Mm-hmm. He's got this really massively popular Mariners podcast, which is what that is. And so they had all their listeners come down, not all, like a small percentage, but it packed Queen Anne. I think it's Queen Anne Beer Hall.
Yeah, I think so.
So they hosted an event there. They're doing another one there today, but they hosted an event there, and they were 3 hours late. And so he was telling us about that. He's going to tell us about that next. And I have a couple of stats that I'm going to read for you guys.
Okay.
That are just unbelievable. Just as unbelievable this guy who caught the ball. But that'll be next. We'll get into some baseball stuff next. And we'll get into your dirt eating in just about 30 minutes from now. All right. Let's shift over to some stuff that's not baseball. This is really interesting, this story. We recently in Washington State, so Democratic lawmakers in our state, which have power and have had power for the last 40 years, they recently passed a $78 billion 2-year budget, which is what they do. Every biennium, they pass that budget. And that included $9 billion in new taxes of new things that we had not seen before.
Largest raise in history.
Largest raise in history. And they're taxing everything from gasoline to the B&O tax to higher property taxes. And we've talked about this a little bit. Some of the things that they're taxing were really surprising to people, like that new sales tax increase, which affects nonprofits, which affects tiny businesses who before might be firing up some horrible piece of clay that you've made.
Performances or displays?
Live demonstrations.
That's the word. Yeah, that's the word. Yeah.
So if somebody wants to come in and a color me now thing or whatever that thing is called, where you color the stuff, you paint little pieces or whatever.
Yeah.
That's a live demonstration, and so you have an extra 10%, 10.6% tax.
Ugly.
On top of that, just for having that's your only business. That's your service.
Yeah.
That's your livelihood. And that is now being just sucked away by local politicians. And their argument was, well, we've got this $16 billion budget deficit. It's really horrible. At the same time, not really admitting that actually revenues have been up. Spending has just been so crazy that they have actually gotten themselves into a really horrible hole, and they're trying to like suck your money away to make up for their problems. So this is the song that they're listening to today. I want to play this for you. This is how politicians, local lawmakers are feeling, because we have some new information about where this money is being spent. And here you go.
Singing this song, and it's a good day. We're moving along, yes, it's a good day.
This is how everybody who voted for this thing is feeling. Because they're all getting raises. They're getting raises.
Did they vote themselves in a raise?
Well, here's the thing. All right, so this is a twofold thing. Washington State politicians are getting a pay raise. Is it directly tied to this new tax? No. However, However, there is something called the Washington Citizens Commission on Salaries, and they decide how much elected officials should be getting paid. Okay. And so they decided recently, they crunched the numbers and they said, hey, you know what? Because everything is going so swimmingly in our state, we're going to give politicians a raise. State legislators are going to get a 16% raise over the next 2 years.
I'm sorry, how much? I misheard you. I something in my ear.
16%. 16%.
That's a sweet, sweet kick right there. That's a nice little bumperino.
Governor Ferguson, and the Attorney General are going to receive a 14% pay raise. Pretty good. Other statewide executives, judges, they're also getting pay increases. They're not as big as the state legislators or the governor. But at a time when they're talking about $16 billion being the budget deficit, $9 billion in new taxes taken from these tiny companies, do you think that the governor should be getting a 14% raise?
I never deny another man his scam. You know, that's always been my mantra. Lest he deny you yours.
Well, he's denying you yours, which is why he's taking your money.
Interesting. I'll have to find new scams.
You know what I mean?
No, I hear you.
If this, listen,
it's a bad look. It's a very bad look.
If the scam you're talking about is somebody who is a hot dog vendor, sells hot dogs, right? We actually have a story about that in a little bit. So bad example. If the scam you're talking about is somebody who prints off-market T-shirts that are not technically affiliated with the Major League Baseball team that they're
bootlegger,
pretending to associate with.
Okay,
they're providing a product and they're getting private dollars for that. Somebody has to come in and see, like, hey, you know what? Even though that doesn't say Mariners on it, it does say Pacific Northwest Sports.
Yeah,
and it looks like it might be
the right colors.
The right color. It's enough of a connection. I'm willing to give you my private dollars. But when the government sneaks in and says, we're just going to take more of your money because you have a business that we're going to say now is about live demonstrations, and on the back half we're going to give 16% increase to state legislators. That doesn't seem like it makes any sense to me.
It's a hard sell during these troubled economic times.
Yeah.
In this economy, you're going to do it.
You think you hate it now.
Why do you vote for it? It's not a cost of living increase. I could swallow that.
Yeah, 3%.
You know?
Listen, and this is a guy who eats dirt. He can swallow a lot of stuff.
I swallow anything. That's a bad look.
It's a bad look.
Yeah.
They should have turned this down. I think they should have said, hey, because the state's in such a bad way and because we're responsible for that, then we don't feel like we can be taking the pay increase.
They could still do that.
They could still do that.
They could still say, given our tough economic times, the fact that we weren't able to cut enough of a budget from the budget to decrease the deficit, we had to raise your taxes.
$9 billion in new taxes.
We're gonna take a look at that 16% or 18% raise we voted ourselves, and we're gonna cut that back to a cost of living increase.
100%, Spike. You're 100% right.
That wasn't my idea. You brought it to my attention. This is great.
I think that's what they should do. It just seems to make total sense. You're going to ask people to, you're going to hurt their businesses, and nonprofits, and you're going to say that there's new taxes because that's how tight things are. We're going to have to start taxing nonprofits in a way that we didn't before. So if you want to hold a function or you want to have an auction, which is like how they make their money, and we're going to tax the auctioneer an extra 10%.
You're taking money out of the needy's mouths at that point, my friend.
And you're going to give a 16% raise to the government. That's wrong. That seems wrong. We played that clip. I'm trying to find it real fast. We played that clip of that guy who, before those taxes, let's see, do we have it here? Before those Drew McEwen was talking about those taxes, and he talked about how they referred to it as their money. Do you remember this? Do you remember that clip we played? This was back in April.
Yes.
And he talked about it, and he said, this is the people's money. It's not our money, and it's horrible that you keep thinking of it as your money.
It was said on this floor that we need the revenue. And to me, that just goes right to the heart of the divide here. It is the people's money. It's not ours. And that is so often lost sight here.
He's completely right. He's 100%.
This is the Eastern Washington Republican, if I'm not mistaken,
Drew
right?
McEwen.
Drew McEwen?
I forget which district he's from. 35th, maybe? I don't know if that's
okay. But he said this back in April, but we played a couple weeks ago.
He said this back in April, and he was begging the legislators to not pass this tax because he knew this one, the sales tax is what they're talking about here. That one was going to hurt. It was going to hurt local small businesses. 90,000 of them are going to be affected by this. And then at the same time, you're hearing that local legislators are getting a 16% pay raise, and the governor's getting a 14% pay raise.
Not if we have anything to do with it. Not if we can't
we might
bring
not.
public awareness.
It's not to say.
Yeah, but
it's already been approved. It's done. It's approved. They get it. That's their money. Not your money. That's their money.
Well, true. That literally is their money. It's in their pocket. Straight from your pocket to theirs.
Yeah. Can we just give them our money? But then at least I feel like I'm doing something. It's just being taken from me. I don't know.
You want a hand-to-hand handoff of the money?
I feel more benevolent when I'm handing somebody money. Like if somebody's going to
yeah.
beg for my money, I'd rather just hand it to them than somebody else to take it out of my pocket and give it to somebody else.
Same thing with being stolen from. Right? Just hand it to the guy.
Well,
That's what's happening.
I'd rather not go through the process of it being stolen from me. I'd rather just hand it over, and then I'm making a charitable donation.
Sure, yeah.
And now I get the good feeling.
Can you write it off?
That'd be nice.
A charitable donation.
The only thing that happens when somebody just takes my money is I just feel awful.
Yeah.
But if I'm giving it to somebody, at least I get the warm fuzzies that I got. Oh, okay, those poor state
I'm helping
legislators.
some poor legislature who can't get a good-looking tie without my help.
He needs a new house or he needs a new car, new tires on his Tesla.
Second boat, sure.
Something. All right, can I play this clip for you real fast? I thought this was great. Sarah Nelson, Seattle City Council president, right? Council president. Yeah. She was on the Jason Ranch show just yesterday. And she was responding to Mayor Bruce Harrell's viral comments, which he has still not come on the air to clear up. We have invited him. Yeah. We're still trying to work it out with his schedule to get him on the show. He may just want to try to avoid this as long as possible. Most people would. In fact, they would avoid it so much they just wouldn't say it. But he said it. And this is what he said. He was asked about repeat offenders. What would he do with repeat? I think the question was, what would you do with an 8-time repeat offender? And he said, I have no interest in locking that person up.
What is that balance?
So let me make something very clear. I was the one that sponsored the ban the box legislation when everyone opposed it because the criminal system has had a disparate impact on black and brown communities. Let me lead with that. So when this person is committing 6 or 7 crimes, I don't know his or her story. Maybe they were abused as a child. Maybe they're hungry.
Maybe they're hungry, he says. He has no interest in locking them up, which is what he says. So Sarah Nelson, City Council President, she had this to say, and I thought she was just exactly on point. She's exactly right about this.
We can be compassionate without being chumps. Yeah. The guy who's breaking windows and punching people in the face is not just hangry, and we need to focus our energies, which can be limited, where they need to be, which is precisely on repeat offenders.
Right?
Solid answer. Common sense answer.
That's the kind of an answer that you want from somebody who's running for mayor. Now, she's not running for mayor. I wish she was. She's not. That's the answer that Bruce Harrell wishes when he goes to bed at night and he dreams about all the things that he wishes he could say correctly.
We should have invented that time machine. Go back and fix this before I do it.
Yes.
It's not like you didn't have an earlier debate to learn from. Because you course corrected from the last debate to this one.
And they had
But how many times?
Don't they have 20 debates that are happening?
Yeah, there's a bunch.
There's a lot of opportunity to learn what you're going to say.
Well,
this is not a crazy question. It's not like a gotcha question.
No, it's a softball.
That's a great answer. We can be compassionate, but we don't have to be chumps. And the guy who's out there breaking the law 7-8 times, we got to take care of that guy.
You know a bootleg T-shirt maker who could make us kind of a knockoff, unofficial
That's a great
T-shirt
idea.
with that on it?
My mom has a cricket machine.
There you go. Now we're talking.
All right, Mom, you got your marching orders.
Dump it here, your Mayor Harrell.
Mayor. Oh, he dumped it. He dumped it all right. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Lyle's going to join us. Lyle Goldstein from the Marine Layer Podcast. We're going to get into some really fun, crazy stats that you're not even going to believe are real, but they are, because things are just kind of aligning right now for the Mariners and Seattle. We'll talk about it next. Stick around.
this hour is brought to you by Caesars Sportsbook at Muckleshoot Casino.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You could do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle-class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
You're halfway through a DIY car fix and boom, you're missing a part. It's okay because whatever it is, it's on eBay. And it's guaranteed to fit every time. eBay, things people love.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Keeping your engines healthy means protecting them in season and out. Experts trust Stable to do that. And third-party testing confirms it. Stable is the industry leader in preventing fuel-related issues, no matter if you use it in your car, boat, or outdoor power equipment. In season or out, at every fill-up or when you store, start with Stable.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
G. Scott here with Jonathan from DUI Heroes to tell us how the legal team at DUI Heroes treats new clients.
What we always do is recognize the human being behind the charge and treat them the way we would want to be treated. All of us take care of you together through the entire process.
People make mistakes. If you or a loved one has been accused of DUI, call DUI Heroes and speak to a lawyer who will listen and be there for you. DUI Heroes can help you. Call 1-800-DUI-HERO or DUIHeroes.com.
I saw her texting coming up to a stop sign, and so I saw the accident coming, and she T-boned us.
In the blink of an eye, Crystal's life changed when she suffered a severe spinal injury.
The pain was something I had never experienced before in my neck. I got massage therapy. I saw a chiropractor. I was prescribed muscle relaxers so I could sleep. I got depressed. Nothing was relieving the pain.
Drugs, sleepless nights, and depression. Sound familiar? I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist. At Sound Pain Solutions, our treatments include high-dose laser combined with spinal decompression and other comprehensive therapies to rehabilitate damaged discs. We use treatments that are non-surgical, FDA-cleared, drug and pain-free.
I was able to get off my pain medicines, and I was able to sleep through the night, and that was what I was desperate for.
To learn if you're a candidate for our treatment, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
An illegal alien from Guatemala charged with raping a child in Massachusetts. An MS-13 gang member from El Salvador accused of murdering a Texas man. A Venezuelan charged with filming and selling child pornography in Michigan. These are just some of the heinous migrant criminals caught because of President Donald J. Trump's leadership. I'm Kristi Noem, the United States Secretary of Homeland Security. Under President Trump, attempted illegal border crossings are at the lowest levels ever recorded, and over 100,000 illegal aliens have been arrested. If you are here illegally, you're next. You will be fined nearly $1,000 a day, imprisoned, and deported. You will never return. But if you register using our CBP Home app and leave now, you could be allowed to return legally. Do what's right. Leave now. Under President Trump, America's laws, border, and families will be protected.
Sponsored by the United States Department of Homeland Security.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Experience the thrill of seeing orcas and humpback whales with Puget Sound Express. Join their family-run tours for guaranteed whale sightings, departing daily from Edmonds. These are Seattle's most popular and well-reviewed whale tours. Book now at PugetSoundExpress.com.
KIRO Newsradio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO Newsradio and MyNorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. Washington's congressional delegation is hearing a flood of feedback from constituents about the government shutdown. Democrat Adam Smith represents the 9th District here in Western Washington. This woman called into his virtual town hall.
I am a federal worker. I am accepted, so I'm currently working, but I just wanted to thank the Democrats for taking a stand and assure you that we're ready to wait it out.
Army veteran Hank Kramer is one of Republican Representative Dan Newhouse's constituents in Winthrop.
Unfortunately, the regional VA centers are closed and the telephone lines are not staffed. So veterans who are applying for new benefits or making adjustments in their current benefits.
Healthcare subsidies are at the heart of the issue. Democrats want funding for them. Republicans say a clean, continuing resolution is needed to reopen the government. President Trump was asked if he was planning on invoking the Insurrection Act in Portland.
Yeah, well, it's been invoked before, as you know.
Former State Attorney General Rob McKenna tells Seattle's Morning News.
The last time it was invoked was by President George H.W. Bush during the riots in L.A. following the Rodney King incident, and he was asked to send in help by the governor at that time.
This week, the state of Illinois and the city of Chicago filed a lawsuit to stop the president from deploying National Guard troops there. Sunday, a Trump-appointed federal judge barred the administration from sending any federal troops to Portland. A whistleblower complaint filed with the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission alleges King County's Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention hired more than 100 correction officers with expired or invalid work visas. The complaint claims this violates state law. The commission confirms to the Jason Rantz Show on Seattle Red 770 AM. They received the complaint and they are reviewing it. We've reached out to King County for comment. It's here, game day, game 4 of the ALDS. The Mariners are now up 1-0 over Detroit. You can catch the action on 710 Sports, and we'll give you updates throughout the afternoon. Now let's check your traffic with Lori Hardy on KIRO News Radio Traffic.
Tacoma to Seattle right now, 38 minutes. It's especially slow from Fife to State Route 18, then you get back up to speed. Linwood to Seattle, 19 minutes. That's actually about 4 minutes better than usual. West 90 to State Route 18, they got some road work going on that ramp, so just one lane getting through. 520 eastbound, still a little sluggish as you get off of I-5, but about mid-span is where you get up to speed. Now, State Route 104, I'm still seeing pretty heavy traffic between I-5 and Lake Forest Park, and then 522 still running a little slow as you head through Kenmore. Northbound slows approaching the lane closure. That's northbound 167, of course, at 3rd for that bridge work. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. 61 for your high today. Clouds move in throughout the afternoon and cloudy tomorrow. 61 degrees, but dry. Overnight lows in the low 50s. 58 degrees in downtown Seattle. I'm Jillian Raftery. Go Mariners!
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO Newsradio Northwest News.
All right, welcome back to the show. Very happy to welcome Lyle Goldstein from the Marine Layer podcast. Lyle, welcome back.
Thanks, Jake, Spike. Always fun to talk to you guys.
Super exciting day. Obviously, the Mariners game is underway.
In progress. Game in progress.
Game in progress.
Copyright restricts us from telling you, Never mind.
We will keep updates throughout the show when amazing, fun things happen. But I want to focus on yesterday for a second. You guys had a big watch party in Queen Anne for your listeners, and I talked to you before you went down there because the game was originally supposed to start at, what was it, 1 o'clock?
1:05.
1:05.
Yeah.
And then there's like a 3-hour rain delay. What does that look like for you guys? Because you were at a bar for three extra hours, which is not the worst thing in the world. But what was that like?
It totaled out to be about 9 hours yesterday because you're sitting there for 3 hours waiting for the game to start. Then the game all plays out. And then we recorded our podcast there post-game and edited it all there to get it up as fast as we could. So it was a long day, but if I had to spend it somewhere, I'm glad it was there because our friends over there at Queen Anne Beer Hall are awesome. It's such a cool spot to hang out. And the turnout for it was amazing.
Yeah, what was the turnout?
I mean, it was packed in that place. It was full. People are so fired up, which should go without saying when the postseason's going on. But people were filled up in there at 1 o'clock. People stuck around the whole time. People were just itching for the game to start. And then once it did, I mean, of the 3 games so far in this postseason, the Mariners played their best game, and they were scoring. They were scoring early, and Logan Gilbert Dell. So people were just fired up the whole time. And environments like that really show you how much people around here care about Mariners baseball and are really invested in it.
So 2 things real fast. So I didn't really know what a big deal Lyle's podcast was until
I'm new to the game as well.
I was at T-Mobile at a game with my son, and I saw you and your co-host there, and we ended up chatting for just a minute and kind of walking around for a second. And as we're sitting there, there's all these people coming up and like, oh, I love your show, I love your podcast, to Lyle.
I get it.
And
I've been there.
He was like, it was like walking around with a celebrity. I was like, oh, wait a minute. I guess like a ton of people are listening to this thing.
We call that syndrome 10 feet from greatness.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well,
it's
that's
it's like being a pip.
And my son looked up at me and he goes, why can't you be like that? No, he didn't say that. But it was really cool. But it speaks to how excited fans are. And that was in regular season. I can only imagine right now the feelings that people are having. I was at my one of my other son's football practice last night. And unfortunately, it was during the game. And that was not planned, but obviously the 3-hour delay changed schedules.
Yeah.
So I'm at the game. All of the cars are backed up. All the kids are out on the field. It's like kind of on a hill. It's like very idyllic looking. All the kids are on this field. It was a beautiful, gorgeous night. The sun is setting. It's like kind of 70 degrees, which it shouldn't be, but it was just perfect. All the kids are playing football, and every single car had their windows down and the sound of Rick Riz and the Mariners playing. And I flashed back to my childhood, where that was the sound of my childhood when the Mariners were great, and they're great again. And it's just really fun to be in that environment.
Seattle really is a baseball town. When fans are given a product to really latch onto and to really love, you see this become a baseball town. And not that the Seahawks aren't wildly popular, because they are for every good reason. But the way people get invested into Mariners baseball, especially in September and October when they are in it, I don't think it matches anything else in the city. And you're seeing that right now. Everybody is glued to these games, and for good reason, because this is the most exciting team they've had in 25 years.
And it's a longer, deeper relationship, a baseball season, than any other season.
Yeah.
The number of games, the highs and lows, the stretches where you got to believe, even they're playing like garbage. And then the moments of these unbelievable, the month of September. You're rewarded for your time spent. It's like a marriage, a good marriage. I've heard.
The other fun thing about so I've heard. We've been married for like 3 decades.
Some of them been fun.
Great marriage. So the other fun thing about baseball is it is this slow burn that happens, especially in playoffs, where like when you are watching the Seahawks, it's fantastic, but every game is the last game unless they win.
Yep.
But with the Mariners and postseason baseball, you're watching yesterday and you're knowing, boy, it'd be really great if they could come away with the win. But if they don't, it's not the worst thing because they at least get another game here and another game in Seattle. But when they do win, and then you start adding it up and going like, oh, they can actually close this thing out in Detroit, which means that, they're not going to have to. It would be cool to see them win Game 5 in Seattle.
Yeah.
But there's too much of a risk there as well. So I would rather they just finish it out.
I have
in
no
Detroit.
sympathy for anybody who bought Game 5 tickets that may not get to use them. I don't care about that.
Yeah, who cares?
I'm sorry for
Who cares?
I have no interest in this series coming back to Seattle. I want to see no part of the Mariners go up against Tarek Skubal again.
Right.
Just win it in Detroit. You've got a chance in this game, in Game 4, to capitalize on a guy like Casey Mize, who has not had a strong second half against a lineup that has not hit. This feels like a game where the Mariners can absolutely take it, and the offense now really feels like it's clicking. So, yes, I'm like Spike. I think anybody that bought Game 5 tickets would be more than happy to not go to a Game 5 because it means the Mariners are advancing.
100%. Do you feel like after last night, do you feel like the Mariners are back in their fighting form where they should be?
It felt like it. And you know what? They may have even been in their fighting form in Game 2 because people don't score off Tarek Skubal. And the Mariners still got 2 runs thanks to Jorge Polanco's 2 homers. But really to see them click offensively across the board last night, that felt like them really coming back to life again. Yes, to answer your question. And again, you didn't have to face the best pitcher in baseball in Game 3, but sometimes this happens with teams, right? And you've seen it happens with teams who get the bye in these playoff rounds, that sometimes it takes them a game or two to find their footing again because they've had some time off. There is a momentum that you have to pick back up. And now that they've had a couple games to get back under their feet, it did feel like yesterday in Game 3 was really a potential turn.
There's a phrase from the movie Moneyball. I'm sure you've all seen it. Fantastic movie.
When I point to you, you talk. That one?
When do I talk? When I point to you. That's me. Yeah,
okay.
You're exactly. No, but I think Brad Pitt says it, but he says, how can you not be romantic about baseball?
Yeah.
And I saw that phrase being put out there a lot yesterday. And I have three stats for you guys that are just amazing that happened in baseball. One, can you guys confirm this? Was it today in history when Edgar had his double? Is that true?
30 years ago, 1995 today, yes.
30 years ago, 1995 today.
Gosh, 30 years.
Is that a guarantee to happen, or is that just pure chance? Like, I guess I don't even know how that works. But how amazing is that?
The schedule is what the schedule is, I think. But the stars seem to be aligning.
The stars seem to align.
A lot of wonderful moments.
Okay,
here.
here's another stat, and I can't confirm this one. I just saw this, and so I wanted you guys to verify whether or not it's true. Cal Raleigh hit his 61st home run, right, yesterday?
Yes.
And he hit it to a guy wearing a Dump 61 here in Detroit. He's wearing the shirt, Dump 61 here. The ball gets hit over the fence, bounces up into the guy's hand.
Yeah.
How? Tell me how.
That feels like winning the lottery. The odds of that happening feel like winning the lottery, especially because when you see that fan, he's in a sea of orange, just all Tigers fans out there, and then this one Mariners fan wearing this crazy shirt for Cal Raleigh to hit him the home run. It was amazing. I don't know if it's the stars aligning or not. I hope it is, and I hope it just means good omens going forward.
I'm with you, but that guy made those shirts, and he was here for the Dodgers series. Sitting in the right field. I saw an interview with him yesterday.
There are ways you can.
Yeah, you can help your odds.
He knows where he's hitting the ball.
You can't win the lottery if you don't buy a ticket, right?
But still, to be in Detroit, to print the shirt, for the ball to bounce to you up into your glove. I was watching that with my dad and all my sons last night. My wife was out doing some stuff, and so I had my 3 generations of Skorheim men sitting on the couch watching the game, and our heads just all collectively exploded. We just were like, what in the hell is happening?
And when he took off the shirt to reveal...
Then he takes off 62.
Dumb 62.
And then he realizes, like, well, he's not getting up again, so like I'm going to put the shirt back on. The 61's fine. All right, here's the last stat I want to throw at you, and then I know we're short on time. Cal Raleigh and Babe Ruth are the only players in MLB history to hit exactly 60 home runs in a regular season, correct?
Correct, yeah. Maris hit 61.
Yeah. Both hit 61 in the postseason on October 7th in their final at-bat of a win in which their team scored 8 runs.
Wow.
Is that true? Do we know that to be true, or is that just... I'm hoping that's true.
I think you're reading an Alex Mayer stat, and if you're reading that, it's true.
That's Alex Mayer.
He pulls out crazy stats like that all the time.
Yeah.
It's also crazy that you knew that was Alex Mayer. That was Alex Mayer. Both hit 61 in the postseason on October 7th in their final at-bat in a win in which their team scored 8 runs.
Crazy.
That's unbelievable.
Unbelievable stats.
To a guy wearing a shirt that says Dump 61 here.
Yeah, it's amazing.
How can you not be romantic about baseball?
You gotta love it.
Super fun. Lyle Goldstein, you're the best. Everybody should listen to your podcast. It's fantastic. I imagine you're getting huge numbers right now, especially in the postseason. So all well-deserved. Good job.
It's been a blast. It's always fun talking to you guys. Thanks, guys.
Thanks for coming in. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join us tomorrow morning. It's the Rick Riz Show. He'll have the highlights of Game 4 of the American League Division Series, and we'll talk to Rick about what's next for the Mariners. Firefighters, nurses, and home care aides gather outside Seattle Fire Station 13. We'll tell you why. Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather. That's 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, Jake Skorheim here. And you know what's stressful? A leaky roof. Because you typically don't find out that it's leaking until the water makes its way through the insulation. The drywall in your ceiling starts swelling up, it sags and it drips, and then you're freaked out wondering if you have mold in your house, which is the last thing you want. I get it. That's why I get Valentine Roofing. Valentine has a leak stop guarantee. They'll stop the leak in your old roof for free until your brand new Valentine roof can be safely installed. Because Valentine doesn't just replace roofs, they protect homes. And they start protecting yours the moment you call. No stress, no mess, no more buckets in the living room. The wet weather is coming, so if you need to take advantage of that free roof inspection, I encourage you to call and get the Valentine experience. That seamless communication, meticulous cleanup, extra mile service, and every new roof is backed by a lifetime warranty. 2 magic words, lifetime warranty. And with zero down financing for most projects, you can get the work done now and you can pay over time. So stop the leaks before they start. Call 206 Roofing and get your free estimate today. That's 206 Roofing.
Eric Johnson here. I spent the past 30 years working to help make our community better informed, better protected when it comes to consumer issues, and better equipped to take on whatever life throws at us. That's why I love the free Washington Accident book series from Davis Law Group. These books keep us better informed about the law, better able to protect ourselves on and off the road, and better off when all is said and done after an accident. Chris Davis didn't have to write these books. He did it because he saw a need. People who were in accidents or other legal situations didn't know what to do, what pictures to take, documents to request. Only a tiny fraction of the people who get these free books will ever become clients of Davis Law Group, but that's not the point. Chris wrote them because it was the right thing to do. The free Washington Accident book series is a must-have for drivers who want to be prepared for whatever the road might throw at them. Get yours at WashingtonAccidentBooks.com.
Fall rains can expose hidden roof problems, and once water gets in, the damage only gets worse. Is your roof ready for the season? Hi, Justin Shirley, CEO of State Roofing and Exteriors. At State Roofing and Exteriors, we repair and replace roofs with a quality you've trusted for decades. And yes, we also provide siding, windows, decks, and gutters to keep your entire home protected. Call 866-ROOF-ROOF or visit stateroofing.com today to schedule a free estimate. State Roofing and Exteriors, held to a higher standard since 1968.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Hartley here from Wilcox Family Farms. I'm so excited to have my cousin Amelia with me today. So, how many chickens do you think there are on the farm?
3,000.
What do you think chickens eat?
Grass.
What else?
Seed.
So, do you know what organic eggs are?
The ones that you put in brownies?
Yes, the ones you put in brownies.
We hope you choose fresh eggs from our family farm.
Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Cold is leaking and rocks are moving and mold is creeping and water seeping in. It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Spike O'Neill here with Dr. Matthew Sharp, owner of Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens. Dr. Sharp, I was amazed at how comfortable and at ease I was at my procedure in your office.
We have done a lot of these procedures. We'd like to help everyone we can, and it's something that when we're with the patient, we are just focused on that patient and getting them through it comfortably, meeting their needs and communicating effectively with them.
And you've done tens of thousands, multiple tens of thousands of these procedures.
Yeah, I personally have done over 100,000 LASIK, EVO, PRK procedures, and my partners also have done thousands of the refractive lens exchange cataract procedures. This procedure's been honed and refined, so we're always trying to push the field further to get better and better results and happier patients.
Call Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens today at 425-451-2020. Schedule a consultation or go to sharpvision.com. That's sharp with an E -vision.com.
Tired of uneven home heating and high energy bills? The Quilt Ductless Heat Pump from Home Comfort Alliance gives you room-by-room control and serious savings. Visit homecomfortalliance.com.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. The Mariners are playing the Tigers right now. It's live. You can listen to it over on 710 Seattle Sports. We don't like to send people over there generally. When there's a game happening during our show, we try not to mention it, but these are special times.
These are special times, special circumstances. So we're doing extremely special things.
Special things. Yeah, very, very special. Special the right word?
Yeah, actually.
So yesterday on the show, Spike was a vital part of the Mariners' fantastic win over the Tigers.
Thank you.
In that he decided to jump onto we found some fans who actually went viral. They posted a video of themselves eating dirt after the first loss.
Right.
And then the second game, the Mariners won. And so we thought, hey, you know what we should do? Spike should eat dirt.
We should eat dirt. It worked.
And it worked.
Yeah. And I'm a big superstar. And it worked. It's not crazy if it works.
It's not crazy if it works. Right. And so you did that yesterday at 12:49, which is right now, 12:49 segment. But I realize it's past 12:49.
That's okay. We're doing it live.
It's
live
this
right
segment. And so in order to church this up a little bit, to take it to the next level, because we feel like you need to.
Well, I don't watch the games when that's why they win.
You've not been watching.
I have not been watching these games, and I appreciate the no update.
But you do catch a little glance, and so you thought, well, I need to compensate for that by upping the ante.
Exactly. I'm going to raise my game today. So not only am I having a little dirt.
Yeah.
Okay. And milk, as was done yesterday.
Yeah. What are you pouring it into there?
This is a blender.
Okay.
It's one of those little pocket little blenders.
Oh, is that a bullet?
Yes, it is. I didn't want. They're not paying me to do it, so I wasn't going to. But that's okay. I appreciate it.
That's a fine blender.
Yeah. So what I'm doing is I'm taking the dirt and milk.
Oh.
And I'm pouring that in.
Okay.
Right there.
And I can confirm you have just poured the milk into the blender. And if you guys are watching on YouTube, you can watch this whole thing. He's got a blender set up. You'll hear it in a moment.
I'm also going to add a little mocha.
Oh.
Okay.
Nice.
And then, just for fun, a little extra dirt.
A little extra dirt.
An extra scoop.
Lord, that's a lot of dirt.
And this is official infield dirt from T-Mobile Park.
Yes.
Bought at the Mariners store.
Purchased yesterday. Laura got it for $55. She's going to expense that.
It was a steal.
It was the last one.
It was the last
and
one.
And Laura had to sharp elbow some people from getting it first.
You were the first person in there. You went to like 2 or 3 different locations, and then the guy went and found it for you?
I went outside. I waited 30 minutes outside the doors. A crowd was forming. I was the first one in the door. I went straight to a manager, and he had to go upstairs in some kind of fancy elevator type situation to see if they had any left.
In the dumpervator.
Which is where they keep the very special secret dirt.
Special stuff, yeah.
Not for consumption. The Mariners told us to actually say it to you. It's not for human consumption.
Right, well, that's, yeah.
Although you are eating it, you were.
So what I've got here is a little mocha, a little milk, a little dirt, some ice. I am making a dumpachino.
Oh.
I call this the dumperchino.
What?
The big dumperchino.
That actually looks pretty good, Spike.
It's going to be wonderful. But I want to make sure that I consume
Well,
this.
you get the lid off there. I'm eating pizza. I promise I'm doing my part as well. So
yesterday the bosses threw us a pizza party for a viewing party, right?
And I ate pizza before the game, and I promised that I would eat pizza before every game. You're eating dirt, I'm eating pizza.
And there was some, so cheers. Go Mariners. Tridents up.
There we go. Spike's drinking. That actually doesn't look bad.
It's again, gritty. You just can't escape the gritty.
You can at least convince yourself, because that's got mocha stuff in it. You might be able to convince yourself those are coffee grounds, but it's dirt.
It is Mariner infield dirt.
I can see it in your teeth.
Thank you.
Smile for the camera.
Yeah, that's bad.
There we go.
That's a special shade of brown.
Here's what I can tell you right now. I'll give you guys a quick update. If you're not watching the game, it means you're probably not a massive Mariners fan, but they are up 2-0. I'm sorry, 1-0 right now. They have 2 hits over the Tigers, and they're looking pretty good. So we'll see what happens. We've done our part now. No, you're not watching it. You can still know the updates.
Okay, fair enough. Because yesterday during the game, you texted me, "Hey, I hope you're not watching it. You know, because..." And I said, "I'm not watching the game. I'm not watching the game."
I said, "Keep it up."
There you go, brother.
So you don't have to drink that whole thing, do you? You're going to drink the whole thing? That's a lot. That's a lot of dirt you put in there.
It's a lot of, what did they call the chemical? Diamond dust?
Diamond dust.
Probably good for the lungs.
Diamond dust. All right, well, if you want to watch...
By the way, I haven't gone to the bathroom since yesterday's milk. I hadn't noticed that until
That's
just
not
now.
good.
I haven't had any bathroom breaks. Not one.
You might want to get that checked out.
This stuff works.
This stuff really works. It's amazing.
It's not just a clever chemically created name.
Coffee normally has the other effect. Dirt does the opposite, as it turns out. Okay. Well, if you guys want to watch on the commercial break, Spike's going to keep drinking that, and we're going to be right back here. We got a lot more coming up.
My Dumpachino.
His Dumpachino. Yeah. We'll see what happens. All right, go Mariners. Tune back in for us. We'll be right back after the commercial break.
As things escalate in Portland,
It looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next?
It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
This might be the most surprising statistic I've shared in decades of doing local news. More than 75% of commuters will be involved in a car accident at some point. JP Pendergast of Pendergast Law with more.
What makes it more surprising? The average person will be involved in 3 to 4 collisions in their lifetime.
With accidents unbelievably prevalent, what are some safety tips if it happens to you?
Safety first. Secondary collisions are not uncommon while awaiting help. Turn on those hazards and remain in a safe place. If a bystander witnessed the accident, capture their information and encourage them to remain at the scene. Seek medical attention immediately if needed, as delaying can be a costly mistake. Lastly, remember that statements made to police and insurance adjusters can affect your case.
Collisions are more common than we'd like to think. If you find yourself in one, follow these helpful tips and then call my friends at Pendergast Law.
If you or a loved one's injured in a car accident, call Pendergast Law. We can help.
PendergastLaw.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with 0 investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
I had pain, I had numbness in my feet. That pain and that numbness just got worse and worse and worse as time went on.
This is Greg describing life with neuropathy.
I went to 5 podiatrists, tried different treatments, tried different orthotics, tried different shoes, had cortisone shots in the tops and the bottoms of my feet. Saw a neurologist. All my medical doctors said, can't help you. Live with the pain. You're not going to be able to sleep. This is your life. And then I just gave up until I found Sound Pain Solutions.
I'm Dr. Mark Shelley, a chiropractic physician and board-certified functional neurologist at Sound Pain Solutions. Our neuropathy treatments can rehabilitate damaged nerves. We use FDA-cleared, non-surgical, drug, and pain-free procedures that help neuropathy sufferers like Greg find relief.
I feel better. I mean, just feeling better is huge.
If you experience numbness, shooting or burning pains, or loss of balance, call us. Sound Pain Solutions, 855-996-0025 or click soundpainsolutions.com.
Comcast Business can help turn your small business into a connected, secure, modern business. It's how restaurants become reliably up and running neighborhood favorites. How healthcare offices become the data-protecting caregivers that we all depend on. And how wealth management firms become cyber-securing guardians of your information. With reliable connectivity, enhanced cybersecurity, and Wi-Fi backup, your business can stay connected and get threat ready with Comcast Business. Powering possibilities.
Now through November 16th, new Comcast Business customers can get started with 150 megabit internet plus security for $59.99 a month for 12 months with a 2-year agreement. Plus, ask how to get a $500 prepaid card on a qualifying gig package. Call today. Restrictions apply. Requires enrollment in paperless billing and auto pay with bank account. Early termination fee applies. Equipment, taxes, and fees extra.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools that help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at AmazonBusiness.com.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio. KIRO FM and HD1. Tacoma, Seattle. Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by O'Reilly Auto Parts.
I'm Matt Piper. Still no deal between Israel and Hamas, which has led President Trump to say he may join in on the peace talks.
I may go there sometime toward the end of the week, maybe on Sunday, actually, and we'll see. But there's a very good chance negotiations are going along very well.
Trump is holding a roundtable right now with his cabinet talking about Antifa, which he has labeled a domestic terrorist organization. Former FBI Director James Comey pleaded not guilty to charges stemming from congressional testimony he gave 5 years ago. It's after the Justice Department criminally charged the former FBI chief. CBS's Jake Rosen on the timing of it all.
President Trump put in a former White House aide of his into the top prosecutor's office to kind of hit a buzzer beater and get this indictment approved right before the statute of limitations was set to expire. This attorney said he's going to go after whether Lindsay Halligan, that Trump aide who was appointed to prosecute this specific Comey case, they're going to say that she was improperly appointed to this job, which could result in the indictment getting thrown out.
A Florida man is under arrest on suspicion of arson. Authorities say he was behind the Palisades fire that killed a dozen people in Los Angeles earlier this year. LA Mayor Karen Bass.
My heart right now goes out to all of the people who survived and, of course, those individuals that didn't.
He was on the run for months, but the last of a group of inmates who were seen on video escaping a jail in New Orleans has now been caught. WWL's Chris Miller has this update.
Derek Groves was one of 10 men who broke out of New Orleans lockup in May. Most of the escapees were recaptured within days to weeks, but Groves eluded capture until authorities got a tip that he was seen in southwest Atlanta. Groves will be extradited to Louisiana while authorities investigate to see who may have helped him in his 5-month flight from the law.
There is a hard-to-spot breast cancer that now makes up 10% of cases. On the Health Watch, CBS News medical contributor Dr. Celine Gounder with more on lobular cancer.
You have many different kinds of breast cancer, and what this study is calling for is more research into this particular type of breast cancer, lobular breast cancer, so we can learn how better to diagnose it and treat it.
Dolly Parton has gone to social media.
I want to say something.
Posting a video to say she's doing just fine. A day after her sister went online asking for prayers for the music icon, which led fans to worry.
And I'm not ready to die yet. I don't think God is through with me, and I ain't done working.
The 79-year-old recently postponed her Vegas residency. She says she needs to stay home in Nashville to undergo some care she put off while her husband was sick. This is CBS News.
Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
The Mariners are up. We'll tell you more about the game and all the hype in just a minute. But first, Lori has your KIRO News Radio traffic.
I-5 northbound in the CD lanes, just a little after I-90. Look out for a stall. Tacoma to Federal Way right now, 13-minute drive. In Everett to Seattle, 32 minutes. We're starting to see some bunching up from Northgate on into downtown. Westbound 90 to State Route 18. Just one lane of that ramp is closed for road work. 520 eastbound, seeing a little bit. Still slow down just as you're getting off of I-5 to about the beginning of the bridge hitting the water. State Route 104, still seeing a slowdown between I-5 and Lake Forest Park. Now 522 rolling slow all the way now from I-5 to 405. Northbound slows approaching the lane closure. That's northbound 167 there at 3rd for that bridge work. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Jillian Raftery. It's game time at the bottom of the third. The Mariners are up 1-0, and the whole region is on the edge of our seats.
Everybody in Seattle is just so grateful that the Mariners have made it this far.
I'm seeing a lot of blue and green in the ballpark in Detroit, too. We'll bring you updates as we have them. A former Mariners catcher is in critical condition after a motorcycle crash.
Right on cue. Jesus Montero, a 2-out, 3-run line drive homer.
It happened in his home country of Venezuela. Local media say 35-year-old Jesus Montero is in medically induced coma at a hospital in Valencia. He has broken ribs, leg fractures, and serious damage to his lungs and organs. Doctors have him on dialysis and a breathing tube. A social media page says he'll need extensive care. Montero played for Seattle through 2015 after coming over in a trade from the Yankees. The King County Council has given final approval to a mental health crisis center on Seattle's Capitol Hill, despite strong pushback from neighbors. According to the Seattle Times, the center will serve mentally ill and chronically addicted people. It's going into an old polyclinic building on Broadway. Business owners say the county never asked for their input, and others have safety concerns. County leaders move forward anyway, saying these services are desperately needed. A longtime Seattle broadcaster is retiring. Deborah Horn is ending her 34-year run at KIRO 7 TV. Earlier this year, she sat down with her colleague, Monique Minglavin, on the podcast Hit and Miss.
What I hope I've done in my career, my goal is to shine a light on places where the light has not shone. And so I want to talk to, not the governor, I want to talk to the unhoused person.
One of Horn's career highlights, interviewing civil rights icon Rosa Parks. Weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A high of 61 today, and those clouds keep moving in. It's going to be mostly cloudy tomorrow and very gray with rain chances over the weekend. Highs in the low 60s, lows in the high 50s. I'm Jillian Raftery with KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. Jake Skorheim here, Spike O'Neill there. Spike, how you feeling? You're still drinking that giant milkshake of dirt?
Cappuccino. It's great.
Yeah.
I'm feeling great. I feel great. I feel excited. I feel invigorated.
You still haven't had any bathroom breaks since yesterday?
I tried during the break there. No luck.
You'll get it, buddy.
I'm in dry.
It takes the body a little bit of time to adjust to a new diet.
It really does.
It really does.
I'm living proof.
And sometimes, you'll get there. You'll get there.
Yeah.
All right. A lot of stuff to talk about. We'll keep you updated on the Mariners as they go along. Looks like there's a pitching change possibly happening soon. 2 men on, top of the fourth, 0 outs. Mariners up to bat. Looking good. All right. But I don't want to jinx you, Spike, by having you get updates.
I'm still looking at these numbers from this survey about homelessness in the city of Seattle.
Well, there's a couple things I want to talk about. There's a homeless survey, which is really interesting and actually confirms a lot of fears that many of us have about where that money is going. This from the Seattle Times. This one's actually, should we just start with that? Let's just start with that one.
Sure.
Seattle Times had this very interesting piece. Horsey, is that the guy's name?
The cartoonist.
Yes.
Yeah.
So he has an opinion piece in the Seattle Times.
That's nothing new. He's been writing a lot more than drawing, I think. I'm not sure how long.
Although I believe there is a cartoon associated with it.
Oh,
yeah,
no,
David Horsey.
David Horsey is a Pulitzer Prize-winning cartoonist, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep. Yeah. So he's got a good cartoon, but he's asking this question, which I think is a question that we've been talking about here on the show recently, and I think a lot of people are asking. And he's asking all this money that they're spending on homelessness in Washington, primarily in King County. What are we getting for our money? What are we actually getting for our money? And some of the figures that he has, I mean, they're always kind of liquid. They're all in the ballpark, but they're up and down by a couple of thousand here or there, depending on which survey you're looking at. The head count, they talk about how many people say that they're actually living outside. That number varies depending on which site you look at, but they're all in the many thousands.
They're in the ballpark.
Yeah, they're on the ballpark.
And there's just far too many.
Far too many. So a couple of stats, which I found really, really interesting. I think he's asking the right questions. In April, and it goes to prove, like, I don't know what this guy's politics are, but it's the Seattle Times, and they're highlighting it. They're probably not a right-leaning organization. I understand that about the Seattle Times.
That really isn't the case more often than not. Yeah.
This is, or ever, but this is...
It did have a piece last week we highlighted. That was very critical of the Democratic leadership in this state. So we call balls and strikes here.
Absolutely. Yeah. I love all these baseball references today. So I think he hits it out of the ballpark on this one. This is really interesting. Here's some recent numbers that he has. I'm going to read from this. In April, King County Regional Homeless Authority announced, quietly, he notes, that there are 16,886 people who are homeless in the county. That's a 26% increase from 2023. Now, the reason this is significant and interesting is because we now know how much money between 2023 and now that they have spent on this issue. And it's north of $2 billion.
Right.
And so for the number to increase by 26% when they have spent a record amount of money on it is drawing a lot of attention. And the other thing that he highlights, based on the numbers that he has, the amount of money that they're spending, state, local, and federal authorities are spending, which all totals around $2 billion. If you were to break it down per individual, it's $120,000 per individual. And you have to ask yourself the question, where could that money have been spent better? Because it's certainly not fixing the homeless crisis.
Well, it's funny because, political cartoons are a national treasure, I think. There was a time when political cartoons were the way we communicated with an illiterate population, dating back to the 18th century.
That's why I like them so much.
Right, seriously, and a picture tells a story. Every picture's worth 1,000 words. Horsey's article is complemented with a David Horsey cartoon, and in it he depicts the homeless crisis in Seattle in 2015, before we spent $2 billion. And then right below it is the homeless situation in 2025, after spending billions of dollars. And it's the exact same thing. I think that the stranded camper is a newer model in the lower picture, but it hasn't addressed the problem. And that picture right there literally tells you exactly what we're frustrated over.
Yeah.
All this money, and we've seen not only no improvement, we've seen a decrease in services, available services for people, increased number of people on the streets.
He has a very simple question at the end of his piece. He says, what are all those billions of tax dollars buying us? And the answer is administrative paychecks.
I was going to say.
That's where the money's going.
And to be fair, to see both sides of the issue, the Seattle Homelessness Authority, or King County Homelessness Authority is right.
Regional Homeless Authority.
Yeah. They had to create this from scratch. They had to start this up, right? They had to figure out how this massive bureaucracy could be set up, organized, implemented. That's expensive. You got to get custom letterhead. You get those jackets made, embroidered jacket. That takes a lot of the money right out of the gate.
You're right.
Right. So that you got
the letter.
Right.
Because everybody knows that real business these days is done on paper.
Exactly. And you go to
write that down.
You go to those imprint, whatever those servers are that make custom jackets. That ain't cheap.
Yes.
And you want to look the part, so people will take you seriously when you're talking to them in their many 10 cities around the town.
Yes.
Right?
No, you got to have the right letterhead.
All kidding aside, right? How many administrators have they? Aren't they on their fifth? At the King County Homelessness Authority?
In as many years.
Right?
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just swing and miss, swing and miss, swing and miss, as the baseball analogies keep coming up.
Yep.
Time after time after time. So what are we getting for our money? Great
nothing.
question.
We're getting
Great
nothing.
question.
We're getting a lot of avenues on where to spend money. That's the problem. This is money wasted. I would rather they just leave it alone and not spend $1 than to spend $2 billion to see it grow by 26%.
I bet if you asked everybody on the streets if they'd like $120,000, man, they could probably fix their problems, clean up their world. That's
great question.
Right?
Great question. If you were to walk up to any one of these folks and you said, hey, would you like... It's actually interesting, side note, as I get into my joke. They offered shelter. They went around, they offered shelter to a 2023 snapshot head count. They went around and they talked to many, many, many of these people. Encampment dwellers.
To let them know what services were available, even housing.
Offering them shelter.
Okay.
And of the people that they contacted, which were many, 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 11% were recorded as having accepted the offer. They would rather stay outside because whatever's happening in their life.
Yeah, whatever.
This is where they want to be. They don't want to be locked down inside. They don't want to have to whatever.
Sometimes it's an addiction issue. Sometimes it's a pet.
Well, the problem is that we know that the addiction issue is not keeping them from being inside because they have a housing first model in Seattle, which means you can be doing your drugs outside just as much as inside, and they're choosing not to for whatever reason. We don't know, but only 11% of them. But they're still spending the money as if they're trying to address the problem for the 100%. And it's a big problem. And it's really interesting because the other day, there was I saw this other piece, which I found really fascinating. This was talking about how Seattle voters, they're financially worried about federal policies. They're saying like, oh, the federal policies.
Economic anxiety.
Recession, yada, yada. 80% of Seattle households are worried. Federal economic policies are going to push the country into a recession, while completely ignoring the fact that Washington is probably already in a recession. And the amount of money that you have just been taxed, we've been talking about this a lot lately, the amount of money that businesses are being taxed in Washington is enough to send them completely packing and gone. Those are the numbers that you should be worried about. Like that phrase, all politics is local.
Yes.
You should be worried more about your local politics. Worry about the national stuff later. It's the drop in, it's not a drop in the bucket, but I understand. You'll understand my point. When Bob Ferguson says the $2.2 billion potentially that the Trump tariffs could affect the local economy.
Right.
How dangerous that's going to be, the 31,000 jobs that's going to cost Washingtonians over the next 4 years.
Most agriculture, right? Mostly in the agricultural sector.
Wherever they come from.
Wherever they may be. Okay.
31,000 jobs. He's not also providing those numbers for the $9 billion in new taxes.
What that's going to drive out of town?
Yeah. And when you also think about, you're talking about $2 billion from a local economy where the budget in our state is going to be nearly $80 billion. $80 billion.
Is it the biannual? Or
this is the biennium.
Okay, yeah.
$80 billion. So, yeah, it's $2 billion a lot? Yes. But is $9 billion part of a $12 billion tax package a lot? Is it more? Yes.
Yeah.
It's a lot more. So, go ahead.
I was going to this article you mentioned. It says 80% of Seattle voters that they surveyed express a fear of a recession. You're right about the impact of local tax increases.
Yep.
Is the breaking point for most households living paycheck to paycheck.
Absolutely.
Couple that with rising costs of commodities like groceries, utilities, electric bills are going up, gas bills are going up.
We've had record electric bills.
We're getting it from all sides.
Yeah.
So this article, and again, to be fair and critical at the same time, yes, there's federal policies that are going to impact Washingtonians' pocketbooks, but so are the local decisions to raise a record number of tax increases. But your pocketbook is being
more directly affected by local politicians.
Yeah, well, who cares if they're stealing from my left pocket or my right pocket? Point is, I'm going home at the end of the day with empty pockets.
I still got nothing in my pants.
And a mailbox full of bills.
It's not a great phrase, actually. Economist Mark Zandi in this article, he says that he talked to Newsweek. He's a Moody's analyst. He talked to Newsweek. He says that there's 21 states.
I don't care what kind of he's moody. I don't care.
Moody.
Get over it. You got a job to do.
You would feel moody if you have his. Listen to what he says, and you will feel moody. He says in Washington's one of 21 states, he says, that are either in a recession or on the precipice of one. He says as soon as you see negative employment, that's when the alarm bells should start going off. He anticipates that's going to happen soon. Obviously, I hope it doesn't, but when you start doing things like, assessing massive new taxes on local small businesses, that's what's going to happen January 1st. I'm not trying to be a doomsayer here. I'm just saying, if you're going to highlight national stuff and completely ignore the local things that are 10 times as worse.
Don't miss the forest for the trees we're cutting down.
100%.
Right.
Here was the other part that jumped out at me. I found this fascinating. Okay, so we're in the middle of this mayoral debate in Seattle, right? You got Mayor Harrell, you got Katie Wilson. She's likely going to win unless something happens with Harrell, if he does something right, which I wouldn't count on.
Well, there's still 17 debatable chances left for him to do something right.
They're still going to debate 27 more times.
The odds are good.
In the next 3 days.
The odds are fair. I don't want to say good.
The odds are fair. So listen to this. In one of their recent debates, Wilson said this. Seattle voters overwhelmingly, and this all feeds into financial insecurity and anxiety over tough times and how much people pay in rent and all that kind of stuff. She says Seattle voters overwhelmingly, this is a claim she's making, I don't think it's true. Seattle voters overwhelmingly want the city to develop permanently affordable, publicly owned, mixed income housing. She says not just for the people in that housing, but across the private market, because it means that private landlords have to compete with that public option. Do you think that she's correct in saying that?
So she's saying that
private
landlords are going to have to compete by lowering their prices to compete with publicly funded and supported housing?
She says Seattle voters overwhelmingly want the city to develop permanent affordable housing, or permanently affordable, publicly owned, mixed income housing.
Okay.
She says it's going to bring the cost of everything down, which I guess there could be some benefit.
I've seen the logic of that argument.
Local rents.
More available properties does drop the pricing, yeah.
But there are also negative things.
Oh, absolutely.
You introduce public housing.
I drive by it every day.
So I went looking for some information on this because I was like, all right, I want to find out, like, do I actually have information to back this up? And I found it, of all places, in the Seattle Times, which is really interesting. It's just like I'm surprised by what I found in the Seattle Times. Seattle Times has this article. They talk about how affordable housing is actually not a problem in Seattle. In fact, we have an excess of it, if you can believe it or not. There are 25% of the affordable housing units available right now are empty because they can't find people to rent them.
They say why?
Yes. Okay, I'm going to give you this little breakdown. Seattle looked into the Thai Bin apartments, which is in Little Saigon. I was unaware of these, but it's an affordable housing unit. And they highlight a couple who lived there until recently when their landlord raised the rent in 2023. This is before they passed that rental increase cap.
Okay.
So in 2023, their landlord raised the rent by 21%. And Thai Bin, built with more than $40 million in public subsidies, has about 50 apartments of that giant building were empty as of last year. That's 20% of the building, according to the manager's reports. And then they get into a breakdown of how much affordable housing, quote unquote affordable housing, ends up costing. It's way more expensive than you actually think. So at these affordable housing units, at a studio was listed at $1,546 per month.
That's affordable?
That's an affordable housing unit. Those are tax dollars that we have paid for as Spike drinks more dirt. Listen to that. In Seattle, right now there is a 12% vacancy rate in public housing.
Wow.
So they have 2,783 vacant units. So this argument that the reason that people are homeless is because there's no housing available
right.
is not the case.
It's just not affordable enough, apparently.
Well, they have other units that are less than that. Like they have ones that are like sub 1,000.
Okay.
This is one of the other ones that's like a little bit of the higher end, but still public housing.
Okay.
In King County, 5,037 vacant units are available. That's a 10.2% vacancy rate.
Wow.
This is as of the end of 2024, which is the last time they did an assessment of this. And the thing that they talk about, the reason that it's vacant is because the services at a public housing unit just completely go to the bad things. I was going to say the S word, but I can't say that on the radio.
Okay.
It hits the skids, the services at these places, because there's
like,
no more.
What do you mean by services?
Well, like an elevator, for instance, doesn't end up getting fixed.
Okay.
Because they have different requirements on who can stay and how you can kick people out because it's not privately owned, people end up staying a lot longer who have very horrible bad behavior, but because they're part of that like HUD system.
It's not clean, it's not safe, it doesn't work.
It's not clean, it's not safe. So listen to what they describe as these at these apartments in Little Saigon. Thai Bin means peaceful in Vietnamese. That's not what the Freeman experienced. Well, that's not what Freeman, this is a woman they just highlighted who moved out, when she lived in the apartments from 2019 to 2023. She said one of the two elevators was often out of service. The common areas were frequently vandalized. People followed residents into the building to sleep or smoke in the stairwell daily. In 2024 survey by the city, providers pointed to safety issues and damage as the main drivers of vacancies. Despite record high eviction rates in King County, many blame Seattle's laws meant to protect tenants from exploitive or negligent landlords. Managers are also struggling to keep up building conditions due to budget strains driven by rapidly inflating operating costs and lagging rent payments. Nearly 60% said in the same survey that they were highly likely to defer critical maintenance in these buildings. So when Katie Wilson, who's likely the next mayor of Seattle, when she's making the argument saying like, hey, the thing that everybody needs is just more public housing, according to Seattle Times, that's not the reality.
No, we need public housing that works for people, that's affordable to people, and that is safe.
Wrong.
No?
I don't mean to cut you off, but wrong. You need to end regulation on building private housing. If you let people who know what they're doing and are driven because the market demands that they be good properties,
right,
well managed, right?
Yeah, okay. You mean there's private renters?
Private renters, things like that. And the other thing they found out in these public housing things, oftentimes, in 30% of the cases, it's more affordable to live in a private market than in the public housing market.
Oh, kidding.
So this idea that public housing is the answer to everything, I just don't think that's the case. And I was assured that today by the Seattle Times, which amazed me.
It is amazing. So if I'm hearing what you're saying, we can build our way out of this crisis, but not with public money, not with publicly funded low-income housing.
We started the segment talking about how much money they waste on homelessness.
Yeah.
Right? Over $2 billion.
Yeah.
And the problem got worse by 26%. Those are Seattle Times numbers. What I'm saying is stop wasting money, make it easier for people to build.
Yeah.
You're not so you're double dipping in stupidity when you used public money to build public housing that people then are not renting, and it goes empty. And then in many cases, the people who are stuck there and can't move because they don't have money to move anywhere else are then stuck in like worse environments.
Yeah, they feel aren't safe, aren't clean, don't work.
And so you're just wasting the money. Wow. I mean, the units are already there. If people want to rent them, they'd be rented.
Well, we got to fix them, right? We can't just throw them away. They're like you said, they're built.
Listen, they're up, they're built. You should fix them up and get them working. But you got to kick people out if they're smoking in the stairwells. You can't do that.
Agreed.
Everybody knows that.
It's a half measure.
It's a half measure. Yeah.
And by the way, no matter how finely you blend dirt,
it sticks with you.
It finds a way into your teeth.
Yeah.
It really does. We need a dental sponsor, a cleaning sponsor.
You're doing your part.
Doing what I can.
Doing what you can.
I don't want to look, but it seems to be working.
It seems to be working. Don't look.
I'm not looking.
I'm
not looking.
All right, we got a lot more coming up. This is really interesting. Starbucks, who we have been talking about, has been trying to like get back to
back to basics.
Back to
right?
the basics.
Yeah, dance with who brung you. They say.
Completely taking a left turn.
Right. Okay.
And let me run you by their new so holidays are coming up. People are excited about it.
The
drink menu.
Christmas time is big.
But also the new Starbucks holiday offerings. Are surprising to me, given what the company's attempting to do right now.
Well, okay.
And we'll get into that. Let me just say it's a massively popular toy brand.
Okay.
And your coffee drinks blended into one. Not actually blended, but you get what I mean. You get my meaning. We'll talk about that next. Stick around. We'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Insulation Northwest.
Looking for even more Seahawks content? Then you gotta check out The Reset. Hey, it's G. Scott, and every week, me and my co-host and Seahawks great Brandon Meebane talk Seahawks. We break down the matchups, and we're joined by former Seahawks players.
From Lakewood to Lombardi, Seahawks champion, my main man, Jermaine Kearse.
What up, G? Watch The Reset live on YouTube or subscribe on the Seattle Sports app.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with the Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm, I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
When your name's on the paint job, your primer better hold up. Painters trust Kills primers for serious adhesion, stain blocking, and a finish that lasts. Now, the full Kills lineup is available exclusively at the Home Depot. Need it fast? Get same day or next day delivery, or order online and pick it up in store. Kills primers, pro results, faster. The Home Depot. If you're a pro, you know.
Are you looking at senior living options for you or a loved one? If so, you likely have many questions like, what can I afford? How long will my savings last? And if I run out of money, will I have to move out? If these questions are weighing on you, I'm here to talk you through different solutions. Hi, I'm Amanda from Care Partners Senior Living. At Care Partners, we're focused on offering high-quality, compassionate care at very affordable prices to help stretch and preserve your assets. And if you ever run out of funds and need to convert to Medicaid, you won't have to move. We have vibrant communities throughout Western Washington, Spokane, and Arizona offering independent, assisted living, and memory care. Our caregivers are some of the most loving and genuine people you'll ever meet. Stretch your assets, preserve your estate, and never worry about moving. That's peace of mind in the Care Partners Living difference. Learn more at carepartnersliving.com. Care Partners is excited to announce our newest communities in Port Orchard, Sumner, Snohomish, and North Creek Bothell. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
You're listening to Leaf Filter Radio, and the guru of gutter protection himself, Chris Coonahan, is here to take your most pressing leaf-related questions.
Hey, everybody, Chris here. I understand we have Ron on the line. Ron, where are you calling from?
Uh-oh. Ron, are you calling from a ladder?
Well, I was. I wanted to ask Chris what I need to do to get my gutters ready to have leaf filter installed.
Oh, Ron, you don't have to do anything. A Leaf Filter Trusted Pro will come out and clean out your gutters, realign and seal your gutters, and install Leaf Filter, America's #1 gutter protection system.
So I didn't need to get on this ladder?
Ron, Leaf Filter Trusted Pros are in your neighborhood and ready to help. Just visit leaffilter.com/deal to schedule your free gutter inspection and get up to 30% off.
Thank goodness. What was that site?
To get this special radio offer, go to leaffilter.com/deal for your free gutter inspection today and get up to 30% off. That's leaffilter.com/deal for up to 30% off. leaffilter.com/deal. See representative for warranty details.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens has given me back clear vision. They've performed over 80,000 successful lens replacement surgeries. At Sharp Vision, you'll get the best price combined with the best experience. Sharp-vision.com. That's sharp with an E, -vision.com.
KIRO News Radio, 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
And good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Well, the Mariners are looking to clinch the American League Division Series this afternoon in Detroit. We're in the 5th inning right now. We had a chance to run away with this game in the 4th when this happened.
Here comes the 3-2. Way outside, an easy take, and the Mariners have them loaded. Nobody out, top of the 4th inning, a chance to really open this one up a little bit.
Unfortunately, Detroit was able to get out of that inning without letting us score, but right now we just got a run in the 5th inning, and it's 3-0. Mariners lead. Go Mariners. Other news we're tracking at this hour, a whistleblower complaint filed with the Washington State Criminal Justice Training Commission alleges King County's Department of Adult and Juvenile Detention hired more than 100 correction officers with expired or invalid work visas. The complaint claims this violates state law. The commission confirms to the Jason Ranch Show on Seattle Red 770 AM that they received the complaint and they're reviewing it. We've reached out to King County for comment. A major break in a hate crime investigation in Issaquah. Police have arrested a 22-year-old man accused of defacing public spaces with anti-Semitic graffiti. Swastikas and slurs have been found across the city since last December. Detectives say the suspect is tied to at least 12 incidents. And a longtime Seattle broadcaster is retiring. Deborah Horn is ending her 34-year run at KIRO 7 TV. Earlier this year, she sat down with her colleague, Monique Minglavin, on the podcast Hit and Miss.
What I hope I've done in my career, my goal is to shine a light on places where the light has not shone. And so I want to talk to, not the governor, I want to talk to the unhoused person.
One of Horn's career highlights, interviewing civil rights icon Rosa Parks. And now let's head over to the real-time traffic desk and say hello to Lori.
Hello. Linwood to Seattle right now, an easy 20-minute drive. If you're heading from Everett to Marysville, 7 minutes. That's a speed limit drive. Westbound 90 to State Route 18, we still have that road work going on. I'm actually seeing more of a slowdown on 18 than I-90 at that scene. 522 rolling slow from I-5 all the way to 405. Tacoma to Olympia right now, a 31-minute drive, and Tacoma to Seattle, 33 minutes. course, the slowdown on 167 because of the bridge slowdown. And US 2 right now, very heavy both directions as you head through Monroe. Traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. Search Seattle Sports on YouTube and click subscribe to get fresh video content daily. I'm Lori. KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thanks, Lori. And now your weather brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Mostly sunny throughout the afternoon in Seattle. Increasing clouds tonight, and by Thursday morning, we could see a few showers. 61 for a high the next couple days. We're mostly sunny and 57 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right, we've been talking a lot about Starbucks lately. They got a new CEO recently, and they're trying to change things up. They're cutting back on some of their staffing. They closed a bunch of stores. They closed one here locally that I used to go to.
They kind of cleaned up their act.
Trying to clean up their act.
On employee individuality, wanted a more uniformed
yes
appearance, right?
A
consistent appearance.
You don't want a bunch of eyebrow rings.
They limited it to one facial piercing, right?
Limited it to one.
Is that right?
Yes.
Yeah. I want to make sure I get it right before I get a second piercing.
You
never know.
For your side
you
gig
never know.
As a barista.
Really, anybody can wear an apron these days.
As a barista.
I'd be a great barista.
Yeah. Not a bikini barista, but just
hey,
a regular barista.
Anything that brings, I got bills to pay. As I mentioned in our previous segment.
You're not afraid to shake it.
I'm not afraid to give people what they want. You bet.
Give the people what they want. All right. Well, Starbucks is going to give the people what they want, and what they want is holiday drinks, which people do get really excited about.
Yeah.
Here's the thing about holiday drinks. Guilty pleasure. I'll admit this. I do like that Starbucks has those holiday cups.
Okay.
It's a fun thing. It makes it feel like, oh, the holidays are here. It gives you the warm and cozies, even though it's a ridiculous thing. It's just stupid marketing, and it works. Marketing works because it's effective.
Yes.
You can get an eggnog latte. I can't drink any of these things because I'm allergic to milk, but you can get eggnog lattes. You can
peppermint anything.
I guess you can put peppermint. I can put syrup in something.
Peppermint anything.
Yeah, peppermint anything. I'm just like I'm a coffee drinker, so I like the cups, and I'll get it in a Starbucks cup, and that's nice. But there's a lot of things they're going to be offering. So they have this new drink menu, which they're rolling out November 6th. But then there's also these other things that they're going to start selling in addition to, which I feel like kind of completely go against this whole vibe of getting back to the basics. I'll tell you about that in just a second, but let me first tell you about this holiday drink menu. Peppermint mocha, that's a classic. Everybody likes that one. Iced sugar cookie latte. Is that something you do? Iced sugar cookie latte? Does that seem a little sugary?
Yeah. Can I throw some dirt in it just to make it mine?
Yes, absolutely. That's what a Spike would do.
I'm not a big sugary drink fan, to be honest with you. I can't do the extra peppermint, the gingerbread, the whatever it is. I know people love it. People lean into the holidays. It's a wonderful time of year. Yeah. Guys too. I'm a holiday softie. I really am. I love me some holiday magic.
There's 3 people in this room. 2 of us are males. Neither of us like sweet drinks. Laura, do you like a sweet drink at Starbucks?
Love them.
Unbelievable.
Yep.
Can you believe it, Spike?
I'm adding vanilla to my chai.
There you go. Okay, so
that's lovely.
Pumpkin to
happy
my
holidays.
spice.
Sugar and spice and everything nice.
You're
this
the
is what girls
pumpkin to
are.
my spice.
So she would drink. Laura, would you drink an iced sugar cookie latte?
Yes.
Would you drink an eggnog latte?
Oh, I have, and I love them.
Those are really good.
They're so good.
Yeah. I will actually risk a little stomach uncomfortableness
to have a little eggnog
latte.
Just once a year as like a little treat.
Yeah, for myself, not for my family. But chestnut praline lattes. I don't know what that means.
Okay, I get that.
A chestnut praline latte. Is that like what is that?
Pralines
is that a nut?
Pralines are a southern. I don't know if the praline is a nut.
Is that a nut?
Yeah, it's like a pecan, right?
Okay, I thought so too. Like a pralines. Like a pecan.
A pecan.
Like butter pecan.
So they're giving us
like kind of maybe it's in that vein.
A buttery nut.
Or like a hazelnut latte.
Okay, hazelnut. They're throwing hazelnut on top of that.
Okay,
so that's a double nut latte.
I don't know what it is. This is caramelized chestnut flavor.
Call it that.
I would think not. After last year's mitten fiasco on the holiday cups, you remember that? Remember the mitten fiasco?
What did you say to call it? A double nut?
Yeah.
A nut latte?
Yeah,
because it has a praline
and a hazelnut, right?
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
I don't remember the mittens. Tell me about the mittens.
Oh, I could show you. Last year's holiday. It was last year or the year before. Things go so fast. And I apologize. It wasn't Starbucks. It was McDonald's. It was the McCafe. Remember the McCafe?
No, I know McCafe, but
remember the mittens? Where the cup was easily some smart aleck kid would easily doctor up the 2 mittens cup to make something a little less family friendly.
That does look a lot less family friendly.
They steered away from that.
That's smart. Now that's good marketing.
You
to
live,
steer
you
away
learn.
from that.
You live, you learn. The guy who came up with the double nut latte, he's on the street. His stuff's in a box.
Fire him.
HR is showing him to the door.
He worked at the Reserve Roastery. Get him out of town.
Get him out of Dodge.
All right, so here's what Starbucks is going to, and there's a bunch of other. They have a caramel,
a whole
caramel
holiday,
brulee.
The 12 days of holiday menu.
Yeah, all the stuff. They have all the stuff. So if you want a holiday drink, November 6th is your day. But here's the things they're going to start selling, and I'd be interested if you guys think this is a good idea. They're a limited edition partnership with Hello Kitty.
What?
Hello Kitty, yeah, which is
it's an iconic character.
It's like a little kid toy brand, right?
It has been for decades. Both my kids, I think, had Hello Kitty phases in their
little
lives.
Hello Kitty, they're like adorable little cartoon.
Little red bow in the hair.
Is it like an anime?
Yeah,
it's Japanese.
It's cartoonish. It's
cartoonish.
a cartoon. Yeah, it's a Japanese cartoon.
Hello Kitty, Laura, you love Hello Kitty, I bet.
I do like Hello Kitty.
Okay, that makes total sense. Would you buy any of these things? So here's the new Starbucks Hello Kitty collection, which will be available, I assume, during the holidays as well.
Is this their big holiday partnership? Is Hello Kitty? That's what he came up with?
Yeah, boxed plush. I assume that means some sort of a toy.
They've got a Hello.
Box.
They're selling toys. I thought they were
like
getting
a
away
plush
from
toy
this.
thing. Yeah, $34.95. Ceramic mug, $32.95. Stainless steel cold cup.
Yeah. Starbucks, they can roll out some merch, man. They got a merch wing. Crazy.
Stainless steel tumblers, $32.95. I don't know how that's going to be Hello Kitty. I guess
just slap a kitty on it.
Put a kitty on it.
Put a kitty on anything.
Yeah. Laura, would you purchase any of these? Are these tempting to you?
The little thermos is kind of cute, and that feels useful. I feel like I could use like a half size thermos for tea or coffee.
Okay. Yeah, I guess.
Cute.
Well, November 6th in nationwide and in Canada, if you find yourself up in Canada for some reason.
So they're rolling out Christmas November 6th? Is that what they're not waiting for Thanksgiving, they're rolling it out November 6th? This is their Christmas partnership.
Do you have a problem with that?
I'm surprised it wasn't in stores by July.
Is it too early for you?
It's too early for Christmas. Let's get through Halloween first. I just always yes.
It's got to be after Thanksgiving.
Got to be at least no. I can lean in after Halloween.
What day is Thanksgiving this year?
The 27th, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay, so is that considered late?
That's a late one.
That's a late one.
That's a late one.
I like it when it's like
a week
early.
A week earlier?
Yeah, because then the whole Christmas season is really long.
It's the third Thursday traditionally.
Yeah.
Sometimes that falls on the 22nd. Sometimes it falls on the 27th, whatever.
When do you start watching Christmas movies?
Secretly, I watch them year-round.
Do you really?
I do. I will watch It's a Wonderful Life
anytime. Who eats dirt. So
judge me as you will.
Take that with a grain of dirt.
Thank you so much for that. I love me a good. I can watch It's a Wonderful Life year round, and I often do.
That's a separate thing
because it's about humanity. It's about people.
That's just a fine film,
but it's still a Christmas movie.
I would feel like a weirdo listening to Christmas music in my car by myself, or watching a Christmas movie.
The Elvis Christmas CD is in my car right now.
Do you listen to it?
Occasionally. If there's nothing good on, there's a couple tracks on that Elvis Christmas collection.
And it's hot outside, you're turning on.
Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus.
Doesn't that feel weird?
Comes Santa Claus Lane.
It doesn't feel strange to you?
Yeah, I know I'm weird. It's okay. I've embraced it. I've leaned into it.
Would you listen to that music? Like, okay, just imagine a scenario. You listen to Elvis Christmas.
Sure.
Fantastic album, by the way.
It is. But only the rockers. I don't listen to the deep, because a lot of spiritual Christmas music on that collection, by the way, which I love. But it's too early for that.
Yeah. Okay,
so
let's
bring God
say
into the mix.
Let's say Blue Christmas.
Blue Christmas.
Here we go. Here's a Christmas song. You're sitting in your car. Vince Guaraldi's another special case.
Oh yeah, you can always.
You're sitting in your car. You arrive at a intersection. Your windows are down because it's hot, because it's summertime.
Yeah, I know.
And you got this music blaring. What do? Do you roll your window up, or you turn the music down?
I lean into it.
Really?
I sing top of my lungs. You bet. Sure.
I feel like people give me a weird look.
I don't care.
Also, even in the Christmas season, if I'm driving around listening to Christmas music by myself,
you still self-conscious about it?
I don't know. I just feel like there's I feel like it crosses a line. Like I should be listening to something that's, better for my brain or something. If I'm just by myself driving around listening to Christmas music
I think Christmas music is good for my brain. I think
Probably.
It gives me the joy of the season.
You kind of checking out.
Season of giving.
Yeah.
That's kind of like that's like a shot of spirituality for me.
Sure.
Right?
Okay.
Yeah.
That's fair.
I dig it.
If it's Christmas season.
Yeah.
But if it's summer, I'm not on board.
Okay, fair enough. I'm not here to judge.
All right. And this Hello Kitty thing, I probably won't be purchasing any.
I'm
Hello
here to
Kitty.
judge that, by the way.
Although, if Laura, what did you say? Because Spike and I are obviously going to look for Christmas gifts, producer gifts.
Oh, I'm waiting on the Costco executive membership.
Dang it. She remembered.
I did not forget.
She remembered. Is that something that you would be happy with?
Are you kidding? I'd be thrilled to be getting a rebate.
All right. Say no more. It's not a promise. We'll see what Santa brings.
No.
I can't say what Santa's going to bring.
I'm a really, really good producer.
Yes, you're a great producer. All right, we'll figure it out. All right, we got a lot more coming up. Stick around. We'll be right back.
The Closing Bell is brought to you by Trajan Wealth Management.
The John Curley Show.
And the reason I love autumn the most, and I guess that's why I love to grow pumpkins.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
Is because it's nature telling you summer is over and soon it will be dark and it will be cold and there will be no light. And just before, nature says, here's a prize for you because we know you're going to go into hibernation. So here's orange and yellow and fiery colors everywhere. So this is our final gift to you.
Watch The John Curley Show live on YouTube.
Have you heard the saying, chucking a truck? The guy running a roofing company out of his messy pickup? Well, here's the scary part. Washington doesn't require a test or experience to be a licensed roofer, and they definitely don't require a brick and mortar location. Chuck could be working out of his apartment with 0 employees, hiring random guys off the street. Yikes. And the SBA says 90% of roofers are out of business within 5 years. Jim here, Chief Roof Nerd at RoofSmart, where we do things right. We have a real location on Central Avenue in Kent and a team of 50 full-time roofing pros who actually know what they're doing. We're not some fly-by-night outfit. We've put down roots, or in our case, a cement foundation, so you'll always know where to find us. No disappearing acts, no cut corners, just top-quality work from people you can trust. That's RoofSmart. Come see for yourself, or call us at 206-487-4877, or visit us online at GetRoofSmart.com. That's 206-487-4877 or GetRoofSmart.com.
Cancer impacts so many families, including mine. Former Washington Husky Mario Bailey here. My mother was treated for cancer at UW Medicine. As devastating as cancer is, there is hope because the Cancer Vaccine Institute is developing vaccines to treat and prevent the deadliest cancers. Patients who received vaccines over 20 years ago are still alive today. Please join me and make a donation to the Cancer Vaccine Institute at local Safeway stores. Learn more at uwcvi.org.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years. That's right. Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives. We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day. And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us, clean food, and a family that's been doing it right for generations. So next time you're at the grocery store, skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them. Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Costco, Hagen's, or Whole Foods. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is for you too. Stubborn fat is really hard to get rid of, and then there's all those gimmicky lasers, fat freezing methods, and prescriptions. Imagine a simple solution that takes just one day and provides immediate noticeable results. Introducing ProSculpt. ProSculpt uses air-assisted technology that's safe and gentle yet powerful, delivering instant fat-reducing and skin-tightening results. Performed by board-certified plastic surgeons while fully awake, ProSculpt contours your body with minimal downtime. It's designed to target those problem areas: waistline, neck, face, arms, thighs. ProSculpt gently removes unwanted fat and tightens loose skin with FDA-cleared plasma technology, all in a simple, guaranteed one-day procedure. ProSculpt is one and done. Schedule your free consultation at prosculpt.com for $250 off. For powerful permanent fat removal and skin tightening that works for ladies and you men, it's prosculpt.com.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Looking for high-quality assisted living that won't drain your life savings? At Care Partners Living, we offer compassionate care at a price that helps stretch and preserve your estate. No unnecessary luxury, just the support you need with dignity and heart. And if you ever need to convert to Medicaid, you don't have to move. With communities across Washington and Arizona, including new locations in Port Orchard, Sumner, Mercer Island, and North Creek Bothell, there's a Care Partners community near you. Care Partners Living, compassionate care and peace of mind. Visit carepartnersliving.com.
With Amazon Business, smart business buying tools enable buyers to find and purchase items fast. Free up your teams and focus on your future. Learn more at amazonbusiness.com.
Too many breakup songs getting you down? Put a little bossa nova in the playlist. Sometimes a different way is the better way. Like the SR 509 Expressway near SeaTac. Get a good-to-go pass to save $2 every time you use it and on other toll roads in Washington.
KIRO News Radio has your chance to win 4 tickets to the Seahawks Monday Night Football game on October 20th. Head to the KIRO News Radio app, click the Win tab in the bottom right corner, and enter to win. You can enter once per day, so the more times you enter through the KIRO News Radio app, the better your odds will be. Do it every day, October 7th through October 13th. Details and rules at mynorthwest.com/win. From the station where the 12s hear the Hawks, KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM.
All right, welcome back to the show. Quick update on the Mariners-Tigers game. If you guys are not watching it right now, Tigers have just evened it up. It's 3-3, bottom of the 5th. They're having a rally right now. There's one out, and their bats are just insane right now. Spike, I'm noticing that your drink there is not finished. I think you need to finish your dirt drink. Just bottoms up, buddy. There he goes. He's finishing. And all right, now it's guaranteed. We're going to win the game.
There you go. And I can't be watching this, buddy.
Thank you.
It's my fault. I looked up.
Yes, don't look at the TV. Don't look at the TV.
I looked up.
All right. They're still a very good team. Mariners still a very good team. They're hitting out of their minds right now. Cal is hitting almost 500 in the postseason. They can do it. They can still do it, folks. All right. A lot of stuff to get to that's not sports, which we're going to get to right now. This was really interesting. Como had this story. The Washington State Mexican Restaurant Fair Play Coalition, which apparently represents more than 200 licensed Mexican restaurants. Although, Laura, you did have a tough time finding this organization. Is that right?
Well, yeah. We originally wanted to bring the coalition chair on as a guest today. I couldn't find a website for them. I couldn't find his name. So if you're hearing this, we would love to
get you on the show.
Love to have you on the show. Reach out.
But they spoke with Como, and unless it's a fake organization, I do actually think that they're speaking to a real problem, which is that you have legitimate restaurants who pay taxes, who get approved, who pass inspections.
Right, that's the thing.
All the necessary stuff.
Yes. To serve food to a public, a hungry public, you need to be clean, safe, the whole nine.
Yes, are demanding that Washington crack down on illegal food carts. Taco stands, namely, in this piece from Como News. The coalition chair says our members are hardworking, tax-paying business owners who meet every inspection and permit requirement, which is hefty. These illegal operations not only undercut legitimate restaurants, they threaten public health and erode trust in local government. They're totally right about that, by the way. And they highlight the fact that there are 50 unlicensed vendors operating without county health permits in cities like Seattle, Burien, Kent, Auburn, Federal Way, Tacoma, and the Tri-Cities. I've seen many of these when I'm down at any sports event. You see these all the time. They're the legitimate ones. They're like the tents that are set up.
Because a lot of these tent vendors, which is a table under a tent, requires permitting.
Yes.
So there's a lot of regulations.
They have game day permits. They
there's
can't
cold
be out there all the
storage.
time.
Right. There's hand washing requirements. There's sanitary requirements for all these places.
Yeah, for all intents and purposes. Yeah. It's a restaurant. It's a pop-up restaurant.
And they're required to display their permits when you have a pop-up vendor like that, when you have a temporary vendor like that, they are required by state law to be permitted and to display those permits for the public to see.
They're restaurants, essentially. The ones that we're talking about are the ones that you see outside, like right outside the gates.
I'm with you.
I'm thinking of one specifically next to the, who's the statue? Is it Edgar? Is it the Edgar statue?
There's two. There's Edgar and there's Junior. Junior's at home plate.
Okay, the Edgar statue. I walked by that one last time I was there, and there was a guy there with a tiny little food cart.
A cart, like a
little foldable table.
Yes.
That he set up.
Yes.
And he's flipping hot dogs and he's cooking onions and he's doing all this stuff. And I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, and my son and I are both looking for food. We're hungry.
Right.
And my son goes, "Oh, hey, let's get a hot dog." And I was like, "Not there," because you just don't know.
Right, yeah.
I don't know what that food storage looks like.
No, you don't.
And I wasn't even thinking of it from the standpoint of like taking businesses away from legitimate businesses, who are paying a lot of money to do business in Seattle.
Yeah.
Lord knows how much they're taxed. But these little pop-ups, they're not paying anything, and they are not under the same guidelines. Who knows if that food is stored safe? We just don't know. And so they want to see the city of Seattle, some of these other big cities, crack down. Will they do that though? Are they actually going to crack down on these?
Well, I think the Washington State Mexican Restaurant Fair Play Coalition would do a little better if they had a website.
It would help.
It would help them if, to require the state to do their job.
Yes.
If they would come on with us.
Yeah.
And get their message. I mean, nothing against Como, but this, we've got an audience that needs to hear this message.
We got a wide reach. Many of these vendors, according to the story, are reportedly linked to out-of-state operations and lack basic sanitation facilities. Yeah, I don't see any of them cleaning their hands. They're touching it. I'm always surprised when I see people buy. People are very adventurous for street food. They're very adventurous for street food.
Yeah.
And I don't understand that because I don't have but I'm speaking to a guy who's eating dirt.
I'm eating dirt. I got a high tolerance for bad food.
Would you buy one of these? Would you think twice about it from a sanitation standpoint?
If I was alone, probably not.
Yeah.
You can cook the dirt out of anything, I've found. Just cook it long enough, eating anything.
I believe it.
But with the family, never. Would never take the kids. I'd never take the missus there. She wouldn't tolerate it.
Sure.
Hardly ever.
Plus, there is a thing where you want to support the businesses who are doing it the right way.
Yes.
Those are people who are trying to pay their employees, they're trying to do everything the right way, and then you have somebody sneak in there and undercut. It's not doing them any favors at all to have Seattle or some of these other cities they mentioned, Burien, Kent, Auburn, not cracking down on these things. They need to crack down on them. It sends a bad message that just anybody can do business like that. Skirting the laws. All right, we're going to give you more updates on the Mariners as we continue. We have a lot more coming up, so stick around. We will be right back.
Your favorite Seahawks gear? Check. Face paint? Check. The Mike McDonald preview on KIRO Newsradio? Check.
We want to win the game.
Seahawks head coach Mike McDonald joins the voice of the Seahawks, Steve Rabel, in the final interview before every Seahawks game. Friday mornings, the Mike McDonald preview, only on Seattle's Morning News.
I'm really proud of the work that we've done. I'm proud of the guys' spirit.
This is where the 12s hear the Hawks. KIRO Newsradio, 97.3 FM.
With Progressive, it's easy to reach customer service with our app, website, chat, or by phone. Because when getting help is hard, it's not help at all.
A little help. A little help over here.
Thank you for calling Bench Press Assistance.
What?
Due to excessive gym volume, all available spotters are currently lifting heavy weights off the chests of other bench pressers.
Seriously?
Please continue to hold, and we will remove the barbell from your chest in the order in which your cry for help was received.
Getting assistance should be easy. With Progressive, it is. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
I'm Ed Evans, CEO of Consumer Cellular. Ever wonder why Big Wireless wants you on an unlimited plan? They probably want you to cover the cost of those 20-somethings using all that data every month. But most people 50 and up like me only use 12 gigs or less. Don't get bamboozled by Big Wireless. Switch to Consumer Cellular. Our plans start at just $20, and we use the same towers as the big guys. Join the millions who choose something better, because if you're not using all that data, you're probably getting used.
Call 1-888-FREEDOM, visit consumercellular.com/facts or a store near you. Plans include $5 credit for auto pay and e-billing. See site for additional facts.
Ooma. What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud Phone System. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very
calm. I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Okay, I have to tell you, I was just looking on eBay where I go for all kinds of things I love, and there it was.
That hologram trading card. One of the rarest, the last one I needed for my set. Shiny like the
designer handbag of my dreams. One of a kind. eBay had it, and now everyone's asking, ooh, where'd you get your
windshield wipers? eBay has all the parts that fit my car. No more annoying, just beautiful.
Millions of finds, each with a story. eBay. Things people love.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Annie's first oil change wasn't as hard as she thought because she went to AutoZone, where a friendly AutoZoner helped her find the right oil and save on an oil filter. He explained the job and showed her free how-tos on AutoZone.com. When she was done, AutoZone recycled her old oil for free. No hassles, just help. Everything you need, nothing you don't.
Get in the zone, AutoZone.
Restrictions apply.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-583-6681. That's 800-583-6681.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio, KIRO FM and HD1, Tacoma, Seattle, Northwest News.
This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance.
I'm Cammie McCormick. FBI Director James Comey pleaded not guilty today to charges he lied to Congress 5 years ago. It's a case that's raised questions about whether the Justice Department is targeting President Trump's political adversaries. CBS's Scott McFarland was at the courthouse in Alexandria, Virginia.
The theater we expected outside didn't happen. There was talk and reporting earlier that there was an effort to get a perp walk, one of those photographed walks of a defendant into this courthouse for James Comey. That did not happen this morning. He was given a private, secure entrance out of the view of cameras.
The judge has set a trial date of January 5th.
That trial date is as slippery as it gets, in part because the prosecution argued today this is a complicated case, which could involve a review of classified information. James Comey doesn't have a security clearance anymore, nor does his defense attorney. That's going to take some time.
Authorities have charged a 29-year-old man with igniting a January fire that killed 12 people and destroyed the Pacific Palisades neighborhood of Los Angeles. Acting U.S. Attorney Bill Asaley.
The allegations in the affidavit are supported by digital evidence, including the defendant's ChatGPT prompt of a dystopian painting showing in part a burning forest and a crowd fleeing from it.
Jonathan Rendernecht was arrested in Florida yesterday. Jim Krasula reports on a closely watched immigration case in Southern California.
A federal judge in Los Angeles has ordered the removal of agents who have been guarding a man who was badly hurt at an immigration raid at a Southern California car wash in late August. The man was handcuffed to a hospital bed for more than a month. Lawyer Jean Rees is representing the man.
I think it's part of kind of these very aggressive tactics that are being used by this administration in enforcing immigration law.
The government shutdown continues, and there's no sign of any progress on Capitol Hill. Correspondent Nancy Cortez reports what the White House is willing to do is also unclear.
According to the president, what's at stake is back pay, employment for federal workers by the thousands, but he hasn't exactly followed through on those threats yet. And in fact, the nature of those threats keeps changing.
President Trump said today he may go to the Middle East in the coming days if there's progress in the peace talks on Gaza. The U.S. Marshals say the only escaped inmate who remained on the run after a New Orleans jailbreak in May has been captured. 10 men broke out of the jail. Derek Groves evaded authorities for nearly 5 months. On Wall Street today, stocks finished mixed, the Nasdaq at a record high. This is CBS News.
Sponsored by Progressive. See why over 43 million drivers trust Progressive to stay protected on the road. See for yourself at Progressive.com.
Game 4 of the ALDS series is getting exciting in Detroit, and I have the latest coming up for you. But first, we head over to the traffic desk and say hello to Lori.
Hello. Traffic is brought to you by D.R. Horton. Everett to Seattle right now, 34 minutes. You start slowing right about Northgate into downtown. We're still seeing an easy drive, Everett to Marysville. US 2 is slowing westbound as you approach I-5. Tacoma to Olympia right now, 31 minutes. If you're heading from Tacoma to Federal Way, just 1 minute delay. I'm seeing a big slowdown both directions of 405 between I-5 and 167. And northbound 167, the usual northbound slowdown, but now we're seeing a southbound slowdown approaching the bridge as well. US 2 very heavy both directions as you head through Monroe. And D.R. Horton National Red Tag Sales Event is going on now through October 18th. Visit a D.R. Horton community today or drhorton.com, America's builder and equal housing opportunity builder. I'm Lori, KIRO, Real-Time Traffic.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. Game 4 underway between the Mariners and Tigers, where the Mariners, the game has changed since we last checked, as they're looking to clinch the division, but the Tigers aren't making this one easy.
Spire, big deep breath. Now the pitch. Swinging a ground ball, quickly skipping up the middle into center field for a base hit. This ties the game. Jones rounds third. Javi Baez has tied it for the Tigers, part of a 3-run fifth inning, and we are right back where we started.
And that's where we stand right now, 3-3 at the top of the sixth. A former Mariners catcher is in critical condition after a motorcycle crash.
Right on cue. Jesus Montero, a 2-out, 3.
Well, we already heard that one. Let's hear this one.
Right on cue. Right on cue.
All right, let's listen to that again.
Jesus Montero, a 2-out, 3-run line drive homer, and the Mariners have...
This is Montero.
Right on cue.
Okay, well, let's just skip that audio portion.
I'm moving on.
Yes, motorcycle crash is what happened to Jesus Montero. He's unfortunately really banged up. Medically induced coma right now at a hospital in Valencia. He has broken ribs, leg fractures, serious damage to his lungs and organs, and doctors have him on dialysis and a breathing tube. A social media page says he'll need extensive care. Montero played for the Mariners through 2015 after coming over in a trade with the Yankees. Seattle police arrest an intoxicated man following a dangerous situation at Seattle World School. KIRO News Radio's James Lynch has details.
Police say the man was walking his two dogs just before 1 o'clock Tuesday afternoon when, for reasons unknown, he pushed his way past a security guard at the school. When he was forced to leave, he allegedly pulled a gun on a teenager. SPD Detective Eric Munoz.
Part of the investigation to determine whether or not he was armed while he went inside of the school, but we do know that he left the school shortly after, pointed a gun at that kid. So yes, this is a very dangerous situation.
The 60-year-old man was arrested on suspicion of burglary and felony harassment of a teen. James Lynch, KIRO News Radio.
And now to the weather, brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. A beautiful day here in Seattle, mostly sunny throughout the afternoon with increasing clouds this evening, 61 for our high. Right now it's sunny and 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news, serving Western Washington and the world with a KIRO News Radio app. Always streaming live on your smart speakers. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
And now, it's time for the Jake and Spike Show on KIRO News Radio. With your hosts, Jake Skorheim and Spike O'Neill.
Welcome back to the show. 2 hours down, 1 hour to go. We're keeping an eye on the Mariners game. We're going to give you all those updates. We'll give you some spoiler alerts, but if you're hanging out with us and you're not watching the game, you probably don't care about the spoiler alerts that much anyway. So we're kind of taking a risk there, but whatever. All right, lots of stuff to get to. We're going to start with a little bit of Mariner stuff. Sure. This is a fun little bit of trivia. 30 years ago today, what happened in regards to the Seattle Mariners? Spike, you already know the answer.
I know this one, buddy.
Seattle Mariners, 30 years ago today. Tell us about it, Spike.
So the M's had themselves in a situation with the, I believe it was the
Yankees,
New York Yankees.
There you go.
At the 30 years ago today, been the Kingdom. We'd have been at the Kingdom. We'd have been in a moment when we had Ken Griffey Jr. on base and Edgar at the plate.
Edgar at the plate.
And Edgar delivered probably the most significant hit in Mariner history.
I'm gonna take you back to that moment. A little piece of audio, time capsule history, which is a really cool thing about radio that we can do that. Here's a question for you. When you see this, do you remember exactly where you were when this happened?
I do.
Were you at the game?
I was at the game. I was in the press box where there's a no cheering rule in the press box. That's kind of always been the case no matter what press box you're in.
Sure.
College, pros, NFL, and Major League Baseball, any of them. There's a no cheering rule. And so the press box is watching this game as the Mariners trying to, on the brink of advancement in the postseason. And Edgar delivers this shot down the left field line, and the press box erupted, as you should.
Yeah,
as you would. And there were some,
as you see Ken Griffey Jr. rounding third, running towards home,
and sliding into home plate. My
hero
piled on the pile we've all come to know and love.
We lived, my family and I at the time. We were in Everett, and I remember watching. We were in our living room watching the game, and this play happens, and I run outside and start yelling on the back deck, just screaming, going wild. And I can hear everybody else doing the same thing. Everybody in the neighborhood. It was like on 4th of July, how you can just hear fireworks everywhere. Everybody's celebrating.
As it should be.
The birth of our beautiful country. That's the same feeling. But even I don't know, there's this magic to it. But here's that moment on this day in 1995. This is 30 years ago today, which is, boy, that makes you feel old. But here you go.
Thank you.
They would love a base hit into the gap, and they could win it with Junior speed to stretch. And the 0-1 pitch on the way to Edgar Martinez. Swung on and line down the left field line for a base hit. Here comes Joy. Here is Junior to third base. They're going to wave him in. The throw to the plate will be late. The Mariners are going to play for the American League Championship. I don't believe it. It just continues. My, oh my. Edgar Martinez with a double. Ripped down the left field line, and they are going crazy at the Kingdom.
Oh my gosh! What a just
fireworks, indoor fireworks,
perfect. The
Kingdom crowd.
Do you remember how great the Kingdom was? It wasn't like a Mercedes. It was a very it was a very functional, dependable. It was fine. It was fine.
Yeah.
Kind of ugly.
A 4-letter word that starts with F.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
It was fine.
Oh,
the field kind of looked ugly. It did not look like it was good long term for anybody's knees.
It hurt to play on.
It hurt to play on.
People were injured.
But you know what? They were tougher back then. But it was ours.
Yeah, they were tougher back then.
In only 3,225 more payments, it's ours. What do we still owe on that thing? Don't we? Are we still paying off bonds on the Kingdom? Laura, can you look that up?
I think we are. I think we are.
Look up Kingdom bonds and see when those are finally going to get paid off.
Finalized or not.
That was so fun. I remember, and the reason I wanted to send out some good mojo is that the Mariners just went down to the Tigers on the score.
They're behind.
The game's not over.
They're
Yeah,
behind.
they didn't go down. I'm sorry. Okay. They're behind.
If they're going to win it, they're going to have to come from behind to do so.
Yes, and which they can. They can. They're down 4-3 right now in the bottom of the 6th. 0 outs. Going to a game at the Kingdom, I just have this memory of being there with my dad. And I'm sure my mom was there too, but, we associate the sport generally with our fathers. And so I remember being there with my dad, and we would go, and, I'd always get to, anytime we went, we didn't go a ton. We didn't have like a ton of money when I was a kid, but you go when you can. And things were always cheap. I don't know. This seems like cheaper back then. Like
sure, everything was.
Everything was. And I remember
you left your $35,000 house, got in your $3,000 car, and drove to your $5 ball game. Boom.
Yes. Yeah. It's funny. This is a side note, and we'll get into the stuff we were meaning to talk about. I was reading this really interesting article, and it was talking about how people these days are always complaining, young people these days. Not even just young, just like generally people are complaining about not being able to afford stuff because everything's gotten so expensive.
Yeah.
Now, they're half right. But what they're neglecting is the things that people used to count as a house and a car are not what houses and cars are now.
How do you mean?
A house and a car back in the 1980s and 90s, or even worse before then, it was a car like I described the Kingdome a little bit ago.
Yeah.
It was fine.
It's serviceable.
But it was not amazing. Like you see cars these days. There's Teslas, there's Rivians, there's all these beautiful cars. Even like Hyundais are really nice cars now. Everything back then was like just kind of crappy.
Sure, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they weren't very nice and they didn't have a lot of amenities to them and they didn't cost you an arm and a leg to buy.
Right.
The percentage that it would cost of the amount of your salary was lower because they just weren't that great. But you still got around. You still could live a life where you could have the American dream of having a house and a car, maybe even on one salary. A lot of times people had multiple jobs, obviously understand that, multiple household, multiple breadwinning households. But the things weren't as nice. Like the houses that I grew up in, the new houses these days are insane. They're super nice and they're worth it and they're beautiful.
Yeah.
But the houses back then were just kind of like crappy houses.
Okay.
But they were more affordable because they were kind of crappy houses.
You didn't have to have smart appliances. You didn't have to have all the amenities, your HVAC systems, your yada yada.
Here's a perfect example.
You know what our AC was? An open window.
Exactly.
An open window.
Oh, it was.
You wanted heat? We had an oil burning furnace in the basement.
Put a sweater on.
Right. That's the old
what
man.
you do.
Yep.
Because the oil runs out at the end of the month.
That's right.
Put a sweater on.
Yep.
So here's where we're at technologically these days, like why everybody has it so good. I showed you this a little bit ago. My phone sends me if the refrigerator at my house, if the door's not closed because I have small children who go and open things and they just don't shut them, I get a note on my phone.
That's your fridge.
Even though I'm an hour away, that says like your refrigerator door is open.
Okay.
So this is where we're at these days.
Yeah.
Like things are very, very good.
I hear you.
What was my point? The Kingdome. So I remember going to the Kingdome as a kid and just being there with all those fans and like
magic.
It was magic. It was magic because of the Mariners playing and how magic it was just to be in that environment.
It wasn't the view. You go to
the seats were not that great.
You go to T-Mobile now and you're looking at a sunset to painted by God.
Gorgeous.
Yeah.
Gorgeous.
At the Kingdome, you're looking at concrete.
Yes.
Looking at the same scenery as the Birdman of Alcatraz.
You want to go relieve yourself? I hope you brought an umbrella. It's going to be very steamy in there. A lot of pee floating in the air.
The Kingdome bathrooms were just about the
most disgusting place you've ever been.
It was not pleasant.
Yeah. Thank God they didn't have a black light coming out of that thing. Can you imagine? Just to show you what everybody looks like coming out. It's like you've gone through a car wash.
It together.
Yeah, but we were, and it was a lot of fun. Anyway, little slice of life. And the Mariners need those good vibes right now. They need the prayers, if you say them, because they are now down 5-3, the bottom of the 6th, 0 outs. Tigers bats have woken up.
They have awoken.
All right, let's move off of sports because it's depressing me right now, and I feel like talking about it's actually not helping. We told you a little bit about this earlier. You know who is smiling right now is local politicians because congratulations, they're getting a big fat raise.
This is going to cheer you up?
Not me.
This is what you're turning
I'm going to take out my anger on these guys.
Okay, fair enough.
Oh, it's a good day, singing the song, and it's a good day.
Probably could guess that
We're
about
moving
me.
along, yes, it's a good day. How could anything go wrong? A good day from morning till night. Yes, it's a good day.
So, Washington politicians who just put forward the biggest tax increase in state history, part of a $12 billion tax package, $9 billion in new taxes, they are getting a raise of 16% over the next 2 years, which is pretty good money. The governor and the attorney general are also getting a raise, 14%, not quite the 16, but still pretty good. Most people these days are told, if you go into your boss and you have the cojones to ask for a raise, which does take a little bit of courage, a lot of them are told, hey, you know what, times are tight. We have an unsure market right now, yada, yada. We can do a cost of living, so we'll give you 3%. Pretty standard. Most companies sometimes will do that. And not even that. Not everybody's
There's a lot of
that.
employees out there right now who are talking about striking for a cost of living increase. You know, just trying to keep up because things are going up and your paycheck doesn't go as far as it used to.
But Washington lawmakers who have just pushed through a giant tax increase because they say that not they say, it is true. We have a giant budget deficit, $16 billion in our state. They are now going to get 16% pay raise, which to me doesn't seem fair. And I feel like it's irresponsible. These people have been in power in Washington State for the last 40 years. It's their policies which have led to $16 billion deficit. Even the Seattle Times reports that the revenue that comes in through taxes is not the problem. It is the spending that is the problem.
Record revenue.
Yeah. But record spending, far outpacing the revenue. And that's something you got to get a hold of. Every single person listening has to do that themselves. If you don't have money at the end of the month, you balance the checkbook, or you look at Mint or whatever it is, whatever you're looking at to see how much money you're spending on Taco Bell, like I do. And you find out, and you go, okay, I guess I got to cut out one of these streaming services. And that's
Tighten the old belt.
That's exactly, tighten the belt. But they're not doing that in our state. They're giving raises at this time, which doesn't make any sense to me. And I honestly don't understand how these people still have jobs when they're voted back in time and time and time again, when you have record budget deficit in our state.
So what's the cure here? Do we
fire them?
Well, they're elected officials. You can't do that.
Yeah, you can. Don't vote them in.
That's it. You got to vote them at the ballot box. Get him at the ballot box.
Fire them at the ballot box. That's the recourse. That's what you do.
It's just we said it's such a bad look in this time to give yourself a 16% raise. Can they refuse
forego it?
Can they forego it? Can they vote to at least scale it back?
So it was not part of the tax package that was passed.
No, it was part of the budget that was passed.
It's an independent commission that decides on when they get their salaries.
Okay. So they didn't vote themselves a raise, right?
Well,
the independent commission that dictates what elected officials earn.
Yes,
they decided it was that 16% was a good number.
They looked at the books and they said, "Hey, these guys have done such an amazing job with our budget. I think they deserve a raise."
Is that what they said?
That's what they said, essentially.
Was there free drinks?
I mean, I don't know what else they're saying because they gave them a 16% raise over 2 years. And the governor and AG get 14%. Yeah, that's a great question. Can they just say, no, it's a bad look. We don't deserve this right now. We failed you. And we're going to not take a raise until we balance the budget?
What would it take? Would it take proposed legislation? Was one of our elected officials, if they proposed a bill on the floor?
It's tough because it's already passed. I mean, they're already getting this raise.
Well, they go back all the time and change things, right? If they just got to get everybody to put a bill forward to vote on it, to pass it.
I think the most effective thing that we have is shame, honestly.
Yeah, well, it'd be pretty embarrassing for someone to vote against lowering their raise rate.
Yeah.
During these times, maybe, get some shame there.
I think we can just shame them into doing the right thing. Shame is a powerful motivator.
It is.
Unfortunately, in Washington State, nobody's going to shame them. It's just you and me saying this right now. And hopefully people will hear it and they'll go, hey, you know what? Next time I vote for somebody, I'm going to make sure that they're better with money, because money is the root of all evil. And it is a cause of a lot of problems in our state. A lot of problems.
I think fiscal irresponsibility is the key. I don't think it's the money. I think it's their handling of the money, their mismanagement of the money. That's our problem today.
People are addicted to money.
Yeah.
Some people go to church. Other people, they worship at the altar of dollars. These people, listen, we are the most unchurched state in the union.
True. Saw that study.
I think actually second to Portland, but we're right up there. We're right up there. And these people love them some money. That's what they hold dear more than anything in the world. They love it. They think about it when they sleep. They would breathe it in if they could. That's all they care about, clearly.
Well, they're consuming a steady diet of it.
$78 billion budget. We need to just stop electing these people. That's what they need to do. Just need to stop electing them until they start spending money wisely. If you had a financial manager who was responsible for your money and they spent like these people, you would probably find a way to sue them for how horrible they're doing their job.
Well, yeah.
They're costing you money.
First,
if a financial manager was costing you money, taking it out of your pocket, they'd be the exact same as these people, taking it out of your pocket. Am I wrong?
No, you're right. You're spot on. You're spot on.
How do you go to a nonprofit and tell them that you are going to have to pay an extra 10% because we suck at spending money? And what are they spending it on? Raises.
You ought to have to say it to a hungry child.
Go say it to a hungry kid. Tell that hungry kid.
Have to tell them, yep.
Tell that hungry kid that they're not going to get food because you need a 16% raise.
Every Republican lawmaker should bring a hungry child to the floor and propose this bill.
That seems a little gimmicky. They should feed that child, and they should say, "Hey, guess what? We're feeding the kids. You're not feeding the kids." Also, we don't want to. We don't want government using kids as props.
Speaking of a bad look, that's a bad look.
But they should be held responsible for these things. They should pay the price at the ballot box for being so bad with money.
Fair enough. I couldn't agree more.
Totally,
and that's
fair.
my team I'm talking about.
Yes.
Speaking of which,
your team needs to rework themselves. Oh my gosh, 7-3. Yeah. I can't look at this anymore, Spike.
I told you why.
Oh, This makes me sick. It makes me sick to my stomach. Speaking of making me sick, in Auburn, if you plan on going trick-or-treating in Auburn, you might want to avoid this neighborhood.
That's awful.
Do you see this? This is awful. South Hill Rapist has moved to Auburn.
Well, we knew.
Is that going to go in the mailbox?
We knew it was. We knew it was coming. We didn't know where it was going to land. Now we know. But now we know.
Yeah,
that's a good thing, right?
So he's released from Kevin Coe, known as Spokane's South Hill Rapist, 1970s and 80s. He was accused of many rapes.
Some say up to 30, 40.
Some say between 30 and 40. He was convicted of one.
Right.
In the end, and he served his time, and then he served additional time at McNeil Island, and now he has been let go. The part that should scare people is he's still considered high risk, but experts believe that he is unlikely to reoffend because of health issues. Now, to me, not a great reason to release somebody. If you're still considered high risk and you've not participated in any of the stuff that McNeil has set out to
you
served
25 years and then spent 20 years at McNeil Island in what was supposed to be a rehabilitational
supposed
program.
To be taking some classes, admitting some guilts, maybe. Right. None of those apparently were done according to the court records, at least that we saw. So he's still labeled as high risk, and now he's had to register as a level 3 sex offender in Auburn. So again, we got trick-or-treating coming up soon. I would avoid that area if you can. Seek your candy elsewhere. It sucks for the people in that neighborhood, though, that have to live near this guy. Can you imagine if you didn't have a choice and circumstances being what they are, maybe you can't afford to move.
And the adult family home that
he's moving into
is in your neighborhood.
Yeah, it'd be rough.
Well, he's a registered sex offender. Right, so his whereabouts will have to be published.
Can't live near schools and kids, I assume.
Right, and his whereabouts should be made aware.
I'm sure
to the community.
Yeah, and they're going to have to go. I mean, imagine getting that knock on your door. Isn't that part of the deal? They have to go around. At least somebody has to make you aware that somebody's moving into the neighborhood.
That's a great question.
Isn't that a thing?
Is just public notification enough? You posted at a place that says this is where.
I don't know if it's a poster. If you move into a neighborhood, don't you have to go knock on doors?
I would.
They do in the movies.
I don't know. Well.
And movies are never lying. They never lie in a movie.
I think, it'd be nice if they did.
It'd be nice if they did. Yeah, it'd be real nice if they did. All right, we got a lot more coming up, so stick around. We'll give you some more updates on this. Spike, you really got to turn away and make sure that you're not seeing the screen at all.
I shouldn't be watching this stuff.
If the Mariners lose this game, we'll tell you what happens if they lose this game. I don't even want to talk about it. I feel like it's sending bad stuff out there. I don't want to send bad stuff out there. At least it's not the end. No. At least they get one more guarantee, and that would come back to Seattle.
3 more innings in this one.
There's 3 more innings in this one. The Mariners' bats could get hot. The Tigers got hot last inning, and they scored all their runs, so they could get hot the next inning. All right, we'll be right back.
This hour is brought to you by Sharp Vision Modern LASIK and Lens.
As things escalate in Portland,
it looks like a war zone.
Seattle's Morning News speaks with Washington State Attorney General Nick Brown.
We've been preparing for this sort of thing from the beginning.
Live in studio.
How does your office game plan if the president were to say today, Seattle, you're next? It's not lawful to do it in the way that the presidents do it. That is why multiple judges across the country have found it unlawful, including judges appointed by the president himself.
See the full conversation on the KIRO Newsradio YouTube page.
Your time is money, so why are you wasting it stuck in I-5 gridlock, TSA slowdowns, and SeaTac crowds? Isn't it time to travel smarter? Seaport Airlines offers high-frequency commuter shuttle service from Seattle's Boeing Field to Portland. Park for free next to our terminals. Check in 20 minutes before your departure. Get there faster without the hassles. Seaport Airlines. It's about time. Book today at flyseaportair.com.
Hey, football fans, Steve Rabel here. You know what makes Washington State truly special? It's the people, the everyday champions who serve, care, and connect. This fall, your local credit union, WSECU, is proud to celebrate 4 of these inspiring individuals as part of Washington's Community Champions. Serving Washington since 1957, WSECU is the only credit union named a Forbes Best Credit Union 5 years in a row. Now it's your turn to get in the game. Nominate your hero today at mynorthwest.com/champion.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here. And I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right.
Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Safeway, Albertsons, or Town and Country markets. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Health insurance is broken, but it doesn't have to be. That's why Scan Health Plan was founded as a nonprofit, so we can create Medicare Advantage plans that focus on the real needs of seniors. We've been people first since 1977, and we're here to make Medicare work hard for you, because you deserve more than a broken system. You deserve a plan that fights for you. Visit scandifference.org to learn more. Scan Health Plan is an HMO plan with a Medicare contract. Enrollment in Scan Health Plan depends on contract renewal.
Change is always happening. It's part of life. And when it comes to music, change is all around us. Songs are rewritten. Classics are remixed. Bands and artists come and go. Even our taste in music changes. Here at Xfinity, we know there's still good in keeping some things the same. That's why we want to do our part with a 5-year price guarantee on our internet. It means no matter what changes, you get 5 years of the most reliable Wi-Fi with our best equipment included for a price that stays exactly the same. Surprised? Life is full of them. One internet price, 5 years, guaranteed. Learn more at xfinity.com/deals. Restrictions apply. New residential customers only. Taxes and fees extra and subject to change. Most reliable Wi-Fi based on Open Signal Awards USA. Fixed Broadband Experience Report, August 2024.
Are your investment dollars working as hard as they should be? You've spent years building your future. Don't let outdated advice put it at risk. Hi, I'm Jeff Jr., founder of Trajan Wealth. We're a veteran-owned firm proud to bring a new standard of financial care to the Seattle area. Our nationally recognized advisors are fiduciaries, ethically bound to put your interests first. That's the highest standard of care in the industry. As a privately held company, we answer to you, our valued clients, not shareholders. For households with $500,000 or more, let us build you a customized plan. From Bellevue to Tacoma, get advice you can count on. It's time to take a fresh look at your financial plan. Call Trajan Wealth, 206-656-3300. That's 206-656-3300. Trajan Wealth. Plan smarter, dream bigger.
Advisory services offered through Trajan Wealth, LLC, an SEC-registered investment advisor.
It's hard to be a homeowner, we know.
Without American Crawl Space and Pest Services, it is hard to be a homeowner. Dave Ross here. American Crawl are the heroes to call for insulation and pest issues because in addition to their great reviews and decades of experience, they also give out the most PSE insulation rebates of any insulation company in the state.
American Crawl, the heroes you call.
Get your free inspection at AmericanCrawl.com.
Planning a road trip? Plan a visit to your neighborhood Bucky's Complete Auto Repair for oil changes, brakes, AC repair, and factory maintenance. No appointment needed, and yes, friendly financing is available. Visit Bucky's.com.
KIRO News Radio 97.3 FM, Northwest News. Now, the latest from KIRO News Radio and mynorthwest.com.
Good afternoon. I'm Nate Connors. As the Mariners look to clinch the division series this afternoon, the Tigers fight to bring this one back to Seattle.
Starter from the stretch, looks at second. Here comes his pitch. Swung on, smash to the right side. It's through for a base hit. Torkelson steams around third base. The throw in from Robles on one hop, not in time. He slides safe. The Tigers get another run. McKinstry, an RBI base hit. 5-3 Detroit.
Since then, we've been up to bat, and it was just like that over. We're now at the bottom of the seventh, and the Tigers, they're just teeing off right now. It's 8-3, Detroit leads, but the game's not over. Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell signed 2 executive orders Wednesday aimed at resisting federal overreach and protecting immigrant communities. The first order prepares the city for legal battles in connection with potential unauthorized National Guard deployments. Harrell points to President Trump's ordering of National Guard troops to Portland and Chicago.
He's making dangerous statements about American cities being, quote unquote, training grounds for the military. This should cause all of us pause and concern. We cannot normalize this extreme action. This is not normal behavior. It's not rational behavior.
The second order increases transparency in immigration enforcement, proposing a ban on masked law enforcement officers and restricting federal use of city property for immigration operations. Tacoma could soon ban camping near schools, parks, and libraries. KIRO 7 TV's Dee Sun has details.
Tacoma already has a camping ban in place around existing shelters and water. Some of those shelters closed in the last year, meaning many of those no camping areas went away. The new proposed law would expand the camping ban to 5 blocks around schools, parks, and libraries.
I'm a firm believer that we need to provide shelter and housing for people to kind of end homelessness. At the same time, we have to keep our public spaces open and accessible to the public.
Not every city council member was supportive of the change. A full debate is expected to happen later this month.
And time to get an update on the roads now. Here's Lori at the Real-Time Traffic Desk.
And traffic is brought to you by Seattle Sports. 405 southbound just before I-90. Look out for a stall. That one's in the left lane. 405 and I-5, both directions between Alderwood and South Center, better than usual travel times. In fact, Glenwood to Seattle is actually 4 minutes faster than usual. You will see a little bit of a northbound slowdown just past State Route 104, Mount Lake Terrace. 405 northbound rolling a little slow as you approach State Route 522. Both directions of I-5 jam up at 18, just briefly, and both directions of 167 at the bridge. Of course, we have pretty big slowdowns. You can always listen to your favorite local sports content on the FM dial on 97.3 HD2. I'm Lori, KIRO Real-Time Traffic.
Thank you, Lori. Increasing this weather report brought to you by State Roofing and Exteriors. Increasing clouds this evening and a few showers to start off Thursday, turning mostly sunny tomorrow afternoon. 61 today and tomorrow. Right now, sunny and 58 in downtown Seattle. I'm Nate Connors, KIRO News Radio.
Your best source for local news. You're listening to KIRO News Radio, Northwest News.
Welcome back to the show. All right. There's an interesting article that I was reading. Where was I reading this? Oh, that's right. MyNorthwest.com. Very good. Katrina Gashard, very own, wrote it. It's a very interesting topic. The topic is gentle parenting. Gentle parenting. Have you heard of this, Spike, gentle parenting?
I'm well aware.
You're well aware?
I'm aware. I'm living proof that it doesn't work.
Were you parented gently?
No.
Did you gentle parent?
I did.
You did gentle parent?
With our first. Not so much our second.
Okay.
We've often, the truly unpleasant Melissa and I, Mrs. on Sports. Boy, that's my brain's. I got Mariner fatigue.
I know we're kind of.
So we had two kids. Two kids, 14. It's come on, game 5. So 2 kids, 14 years apart. First kid, as with all first kids, you don't really know what you're doing, right? And as a parent, I love being a parent. I love being a dad, but I fell into the trap of not being a parent and being a friend sometimes.
Dangerous.
And
easy trap to fall into.
It is. And you see how the effect, and don't get me wrong, our oldest is a magnificent individual.
Yeah.
Grown into a fine woman. Yeah. But there were some tough times that were self-inflicted, brought it upon ourselves by not saying no to my kid. Second one around, learn from that. You let them make some mistakes. You give them a lot more boundaries.
Sure.
And you don't just cushion every fall, because when you cushion every fall, they never learn to fall and they never learn to get themselves up.
This article is interesting because they talk about another one of the consequences of gentle parenting, which is basically, so this is interesting. When we had our first kid, we now have 4, but when we had our first and we were in preschool, teachers are constantly trying to tell you lots of stuff.
They're trying to be helpful.
Educators.
Yeah.
And some get it right and some get it wrong. And in this case, boy, did they get it wrong.
How so?
Well, they were instructing the parents of, because most of the parents in this class at the time were on their first kid.
First-time parents, yeah.
And they were saying, like, hey, when a kid has an issue, the best thing that you can do is get down on the kid's level.
I've heard that.
talk to the kid on their level. Sit down with them. If they're sitting in the dirt, you sit in the dirt. If the kid is shoving sand in their pants, you shove sand in your pants.
No, really?
I'm not joking.
No.
I'm not joking. Make the kid feel like you're them. You're one of them.
Okay.
And then you can reason with them because they're going to identify with you because you're reasoning with them, which is just total malarkey. It's absolute nonsense.
Yeah, yeah.
These kids, I've heard some adults do it, these kids eat dirt. You know what I'm saying? Parents shouldn't be doing
crazy.
that. That's crazy. That may have been crazy now that we look at the score. But they say that this gentle parenting, which then creates these kids who don't understand boundaries, just like you were talking about a second ago.
You bet.
They then take that, what they have learned about boundaries and having people kowtow to them and getting down on their level, which parents are much more willing to do because it's your child and you love your child.
Mm-hmm.
But when you send that kid to school, that teacher doesn't have an opportunity to get down on the ground and shove dirt in their pants with every one of these kids. It's not going to work.
Nor the time.
Right, nor should they.
20, 30 little monsters in your class.
So they highlight in this story, Katrina highlights in this story, that verbal outbursts, physical aggression, educators say that students' behavior has reached a boiling point. One teacher described it as emotional warfare, which I totally believe, where every day feels like a battle for basic respect and safety. Educators are then, in turn, walking away from these careers because it's just not worth the hassle, because parents aren't disciplining their kids. And they send their kids to school with the knowledge that they're just perfect little snowflakes and every single thing that they do is...
never been told no.
And they've never been told no. The other thing that I worry about with kids, and we've talked about this a lot, but the nannying of just handing them a screen, so they don't have to worry about like the quick fix of handing them a screen.
Yeah.
They get this instant little dopamine rush, and they can instantly, maybe they're quiet, like maybe they're screaming and whining or doing what kids naturally do, which is like test boundaries. That's what they do. They're learning where the boundaries are so they can get up right next to them but not cross them.
Yep.
Those are good lessons for them. Believe me, with all these boys, I have a lot of boundaries that are pushed all the time. But you hand a kid a screen, and suddenly they don't have to like work any of that out in their brain because they're just kind of like satiated by this, with
Sure.
glowing little
You're messing with brain development, the chemical brain development right there.
100%.
Yeah.
So then you send them to school where they're not going to be handed these screens, hopefully, although we are seeing more and more that they are handing screens to kids. It's in schools.
Yeah.
Probably for this reason. And it's just not working. Now, educators are frustrated. Parents are frustrated because they're getting bad reports about their perfect little angels who would never do such a thing. But obviously they're doing such a thing. And, so the answer is, if it's not gentle parenting, then what is it? What kind of parenting are you supposed to do? Harsh parenting is the answer.
Okay. I was trying to soft pedal this, but, you do have to be more disciplinary to your kids. You have to set up boundaries for your kids, and you're not doing them any favors by not doing it. Like, as I mentioned, we have two. We changed parenting styles on the second one. We learned from the first one. And again, I love my oldest is fantastic. But we made some mistakes and we learned from them, and we put up boundaries in the second one because we weren't doing the kids any favor. You talk about giving kids screens because sometimes that's the break the parent.
Yeah, it gives the parent a break.
They feel they desperately need.
Yeah, I get it.
And that's got a lot of different factors involved. Parents are drawn in so many different directions, pulled, I should say, in so many different directions. Every day nowadays, most households are 2-income households. I was lucky enough to be raised in a 1-income household, And I was lucky enough in my career that my wife was always able to be at home with the kids, raising our kids. You're doing the same. Your families have made a decision that it's important for you to give your kids proper, attentive, hands-on parenting.
Sure.
As opposed to turning them over to somebody else to do that while you guys have to go out and earn 2 incomes.
Were you the disciplinary when you got home? Like, were you the disciplinarian? A lot of times parents will split that up.
Yeah, no, I was a soft touch. I was Mr. Softy.
Okay. Your wife was the unpleasant one?
Yeah, regretfully, I that fell to the truly unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill.
Sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Different for me when wait till your father gets home.
That's how mine was.
That was embroidered on a pillow on our couch. That's how many times my poor mom she would just hold up the pillow after a while to save her voice.
Yeah.
Right?
It's like that scene in Christmas Story where he's like hiding under the sink. Daddy's going to kill Ralphie.
He's going to kill. No, he's not.
Ralphie's waiting up on the bed just crying, thinking about the beating he's going to take.
But those kids built this country.
I know. They grew up to be respectful.
Right?
I'm not saying you should beat your kids. That's not what I'm saying at all.
The difference between discipline and corporal punishment. We're not talking about that.
Yeah.
We're talking about boundaries. We're talking about saying no. We're talking about not kowtowing to your kids. We're not negotiating with your kids. One thing Katrina's article mentions is that parents who negotiate with their child.
Horrible mistake.
It's a horrible mistake. We have a sign at our house. No is a complete sentence.
Yeah.
And that's I credit Mrs. for that one.
You know what I say to my kids all the time, when as far as negotiating goes? They've never seen it, so I actually don't think they get the reference at all, but I get a chuckle out of it. But do you remember Air Force One?
Yeah.
We will not negotiate with terrorists.
Yeah. No matter how cute and small they are.
No matter how adorable they are. That's what you're doing. When you negotiate with these kids, you're negotiating with terrorists. They will use emotional terrorism against you if they can.
They're smarter than we were.
They're smarter. They're good at it. And they know exactly which buttons to push.
Yeah, here.
So stay strong.
Yeah,
discipline your kids.
We got your back.
Don't negotiate with them. We're here to affirm that you are doing the right thing.
You're the parent.
Be strict with your kids.
You're the parent.
They need those boundaries. Absolutely. All right. We got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages coming up next. We are all sending our prayers up for the Mariners. Come on, Bats. Come alive, Bats.
It would have to be the most historic ninth inning of all time.
Oh, we need it. All right. We got a lot more coming up. Stick around.
Seattle's Morning News.
Hi, I'm Amanda Factor. Hope you can join us tomorrow morning. It's the Rick Riz Show. He'll have the highlights of Game 4 of the American League Division Series, and we'll talk to Rick about what's next for the Mariners. Firefighters, nurses, and home care aides gather outside Seattle Fire Station 13. We'll tell you why. Hope you can join us tomorrow for all the day's news, traffic, and weather. That's 5 to 9 on Seattle's Morning News.
We're on YouTube, our app, your smart speaker, and 97.3 FM.
Hey, Spike O'Neill for Sharp Vision, Modern LASIK and Lens. You know, I've told you now for the last 10 months, I think, I made a decision to have my eyes checked because while having perfect vision my entire life, it started to get away from me. I started to have some deterioration of quality. I needed glasses. Went to Sharp Vision, Modern LASIK and Lens, their offices in Bellevue, had a comprehensive eye exam, found out I had the beginnings of cataract. And I was a perfect candidate for refractive lens exchange surgery. Perfect candidate. So asked a lot of questions. They gave me all the answers, put me at ease. One simple procedure, one afternoon. I was in, I was out. 2 weeks later, best vision of my life. I literally gone from 20/20 in my youth to, I don't know what before I got there, to 20/10 vision. I will never need readers again, and I will never develop cataract with refractive lens exchange surgery. Give Sharp Vision a call today. 425-451-2020 is the phone number. 425-451-2020, or go online, check them out, sharp-vision.com, sharp with an e-vision.com, official eye care providers of Sounders FC.
There is one real estate agent who's been helping KIRO listeners longer than anyone else, and that's Wes Jones with sellwithwes.com. Wes, you've helped KIRO listeners in good markets and more difficult ones. What do you think has been the secret to your success?
Experience has taught us that to outperform the market, we needed to do things differently from the status quo, that we needed to do more. Our exclusive system covers innovative marketing locally and internationally, leading to more eyeballs on your home, better listing prep for better showings, negotiation strategies that eliminate pesky buyer contingencies, and generate stronger offers. Through our exclusive client programs, our sellers enjoy an extraordinary marketing experience utilizing techniques a traditional agent cannot offer.
So if you want to sell your home faster, at a higher price, and with fewer contingencies, if you want more, visit sellwithwes.com, sellwithwes.com, a better way to sell your home.
What if you had the smartest Wi-Fi? If you did, it'd be Xfinity, of course, and it'd come with their best state-of-the-art equipment. It would boost speeds to the devices that needed them most, prioritizing your most important connections, whether you were streaming, gaming, or gaming while pretending to work. And it would let you stream 4. That's right, 4 games on one screen. It would even power your mobile connection so you could bring faster, secure Wi-Fi speeds with you where you use it most. It would be proactive and fix problems before you knew you had them. Impressive, right? And it would have security features that protect you from threats at home and online. Kinda like a force field for your life. If you had the smartest Wi-Fi, well, everything would work together seamlessly to keep you connected, no matter what. Xfinity. Imagine that. Restrictions apply.
Whoa,
Whoa. More fiber?
What?
Down here, buddy. It's me, your spoon. Constipation with belly pain still coming back?
Yeah.
Talk to your doctor. It could be irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, but Linzess could help you get ahead of it.
Linzess linaclotide is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually. Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling. Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Upgrade your home comfort and save 20% during the Bob's Heating preseason furnace sale. With great savings plus free financing on heat pumps, water heaters, generators, and more, our award-winning team has what you need to stay cozy this chilly season at a cost you're comfortable with. Voted best in the Pacific Northwest, we're honored to be your dedicated home comfort company since 1957. Call Bob's and save today.
Bob's Heating and Air Conditioning. Call Bob.
I just learned 10% of our electricity in Washington comes from nuclear energy.
I've heard it's reliable and has a small footprint, but what about the waste?
It's not what you might think. No overflowing dumpsters or leaking barrels. Used fuel is safely stored in solid form after powering homes, schools, and businesses for years. All nuclear power plants in the U.S. store their used fuel responsibly to protect the environment.
Where can I learn more?
You can learn about nuclear energy and used fuel at energy-northwest.com. Energy Northwest, powering our clean energy future.
From office supplies to IT essentials, Amazon Business provides tools to help you save costs and make insight-based decisions. Learn how to bring your visions to life at amazonbusiness.com.
If you use the carpool or toll lanes along SR 167 without a Good2Go account, you'll soon receive a bill in the mail. That is a change. A Good2Go pass saves $2 on every toll. That is not a change. Learn more at Good2Go167.com.
The team that gave me back my full head of hair, Advanced Hair, is once again the winner of the 425 Business of the Year. Dr. Perungo and his world-class team begin regrowing your own natural hair the very next day. And Advanced Hair guarantees your new hair will grow, just like they did for me. Find out why Advanced Hair is the best of the best. With your free consultation, you'll receive $250 off and 250 free hair grafts. 425-449-8185 or advancedhair.com.
All right, welcome back to the show. Mariners are down 8-3 right now. 0 outs, bottom of the 8th. Detroit is still hitting. Man on second base. All right, we got a lot more coming up. We got your text messages. A quick shout out though. I gotta highlight this real fast because this is pretty cool. Brandy Cruz, our very own Brandy Cruz. She's at the White House right now. She's having a meeting with President Trump and his staff. And they're talking about a bunch of the protests that are happening all around the country, in Seattle, in Portland, and stuff like that. Pretty neat to see. So good job, Brandy Cruz. We can give you more of an update on that tomorrow, but I saw some audio of her speaking in the White House, which is pretty wild. I've known Brandy since, gosh, she was a reporter here for Dory, and she used to come on and just do stories on Dory's show. And she's now sitting in the White House. That's pretty amazing. So good on her. All right, let's get to text messages. Laura, fire away.
On our state's new budget, Black Sunshine in Kitsap County says Jake and Spike, according to a study from October 31st, 2024, Washington was the 45th highest tax burden state. That is pretty spooky.
Mm-hmm.
The other 8 states without an income tax are the lowest 17 tax burdened. I'm curious where we sit now with the highest tax increases ever in Washington state in 2025.
Great question. Probably higher. It would be my guess.
253 says, Jake, here's another one for you. If my son wants to buy an old quarter for his coin collection that costs $50, there's now a 10% tax on that effective in the new budget?
Collectible stuff is, they've added an extra, I don't understand that.
That's what he's saying.
A coin collection.
I'll have to look into that.
Oh, because what? Was it purchased at auction? Is that it?
I don't know.
Like an old coin auction?
I respect the comment. That's a question. We'll dig into it and find out for you.
Jeez Louise, crazy. All right, on Spike eating dirt for the Mariners, which appears to have not worked. We'll find out. We haven't lost yet. Tina in Seattle says, Spike did the dirty work. Yes, he did, Tina. Very much so.
Doug in Mount Vernon says, dump a chino. Starbucks is going to borrow that idea. Maybe make some changes.
Maybe so. Not every idea works. Cliff in Woodinville says, though, all these changes are no bueno. This is not the way superstitions work. You don't negotiate like I did today. I did. I
You think
agreed.
if you would have...
And he followed up. He said you drank dirt after the game started. You added mocha. You added extra dirt, and you blended it.
And the work and we watched.
But you're not
the game.
No, I don't. You can't be both. You're not to blame.
But anyway, the point being, superstitions are just that.
Yeah.
Superstitions. Yeah.
All right. On the raise that our state politicians are getting, even though we have a $16 billion budget deficit and $9 billion in new taxes, 206 says, thanks, lawmakers. At least you can afford things. Absolutely. Good
Nice.
for them.
Chris in the 206 says, not fair. 16%. Why? They don't deserve it.
I'm with you. It's just a bad look. Vicky in Auburn says, every politician lies and tells you what you want to hear to get elected. Why don't people in this state get angry and do something? So those who spend the money are held accountable.
Great question,
No,
Vicky.
it's a matter of numbers, man. There's just too many on the side of the mountain. And it seems like we'll never get a candidate from that side of the from the conservative side.
There could be somebody who's just a sensible.
I thought we had one last
by
time.
the books guy who's not going to go crazy with spending on ridiculous, frivolous things. Who's not going to give raises to politicians who don't deserve them.
Can the
why
governor
wouldn't
reach
people
into
elect
this?
somebody like that?
Yeah.
Why
That's a
wouldn't
great
somebody
question.
get excited about somebody like that?
We talked about can this legislature rescind that 16% raise? I know the governor's got a lot of executive power.
He's not going to turn
example.
down money. He's getting a 14% raise.
He could turn down money. Of course he could.
You watch.
I'm just saying.
You watch.
Lead by example.
You watch.
Here's an opportunity.
He's the one who taxed them $9 billion.
I know. But here's an opportunity.
So great. He gives back his 14%. He still taxed every small business $9 billion.
Every little bit helps.
On Halloween season, and a possible crime for you guys, Bernie says there have been a few thefts of those 12-foot tall Halloween statues. Of course, Spike knows to what
I've
Bernie
got one.
Mm.
refers.
You betcha.
In the North End. Maybe another assignment for Skorheim and O'Neill Private Eyes, Esquire. These people and their children are crushed.
Yeah, well, the descriptions would be easy.
They're tall.
12-foot tall.
Unless there's dismemberment involved. In which
Giant
case-
skeletons. Yeah, I would think we can do that.
You know, my wife's, the Truly Unpleasant Mrs. O'Neill, is part of a Facebook group for these 12-foot skeletons.
Yeah.
I'll do some research and see if we know anything about these thefts in my area,
We'll
my
solve
neighborhood.
those crimes. We'll solve those crimes. All right. Thank you guys so much for listening and hanging out with us today. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. We're going to see you right back here tomorrow. John Curley's coming up next. Bye-bye.
I can't wait till I get a little older.
The John Curley Show.
I get a little bit more hair in my ears.
Weekdays 3 to 7.
And I can be the really crotchety old guy that can say to people in restaurants,
"Why don't you get your kid off the phone?"
You can do that now. No, I'm not there yet. Getting close to being eccentric. As my mom used to say, I don't make enough money to be eccentric. I'm just middle class crazy right now.
Watch the John Curley Show live on YouTube. Weekdays 3 to 7. And download the KIRO Newsradio app.
The stock market's on fire. AI stocks are performing at all-time levels. We hope you, like many of our investors, have taken advantage of it. A famous man once said, buy low, sell high. There's also $8 trillion of cash sitting on the sidelines. Investors are either scared or they don't know where to go. Hi, I'm Scott Rireka, CEO of Legacy Group Capital in Bellevue. Legacy Group Capital develops local real estate, lends money, and shares profit with our investors. We've been doing it for 19 years, averaging double-digit returns with zero investor losses. Diversify with Legacy Group Capital and invest in our family of funds. From a 3-year investment with double-digit returns to only a 90-day commitment returning 7%. We also accept IRAs. Find out why 1,300 local investors have invested over $350 million.
Legacy Group Capital at legacyg.com. This is not investment advice. Investments available to accredited investors only. Details at legacyg.com.
Hey everyone, Hartley Wilcox here, and I'm Charlie Wilcox from Wilcox Family Farms. Our family's been raising hens and gathering fresh eggs right here for over 100 years.
That's right.
Our hens roam free on green pastures, soaking up the sunshine and living their best chicken lives.
We don't do shortcuts. No cages, no chemicals, just honest-to-goodness eggs laid fresh every day.
And when you buy Wilcox eggs, you're not just getting breakfast. You're supporting local farmers like us. Clean food and a family that's been doing it right for generations.
So next time you're at the grocery store,
skip the out-of-state eggs and grab the ones with our name on them.
Wilcox Family Farms. Fresh, local, trusted. Find fresh Wilcox eggs at Fred Meyer, QFC, or Amazon Fresh. And for a healthy snack on the go, grab some ready-to-eat hard-boiled eggs in a convenient to-go 2-pack. Wilcox Family Farms eggs, locally fresh since 1909.
Did you know September is historically one of the strongest months to sell a home, and there's typically a post-Labor Day boost that runs through October and sometimes even later. So is now the time to sell your home, and how much is it worth? Well, get an estimate of your home's value instantly at sellwithwest.com. If you want local expertise, someone who actually knows what's happening with the housing market in your neighborhood, there's no one more local than Wes Jones. Go to sellwithwest.com, sellwithwest.com, and start by using their free home value calculator to see what your home is worth. It might be worth more than you think. You'll get so much more than just a number from Wes Jones. We're talking about recent sales in your neighborhood, the market temperature in your city, side-by-side comparisons of multiple online estimates. You can even calculate how much equity you have, and even a breakdown of how your home's value has changed over time. Go to sellwithwest.com, type in your address, and bam, you'll have instant access to all of this and more. It's fast, easy, it's local. Sellwithwest.com, a better way to sell your home.
Have you stopped to think about how you feel today compared to, say, 10 years ago? Are you noticing changes? Less energy, slow recovery, trouble focusing, maybe even weight gain? What if you could turn back the clock and feel stronger, sharper, and more alive? At Longevity Medical Clinic, we help people do exactly that. For over 3 decades, we've been helping thousands of men and women find out what's really going on inside their bodies and take action to feel better and live longer. With advanced diagnostics and personalized hormone and supplement plans, we uncover what's been holding you back and show you how to optimize your health. Our patients often say, "Now I finally understand what's happening and what to do about it." Take the first step today. Call 866-86-YOUNG or visit lmclinic.com to schedule your free consultation. Longevity Medical Clinic. Feel better. Live longer. Let's do it together.
Your best source for local news. KIRO News Radio.